Boys in the back. Boys.
What is good? We are back with another edition of Boys in the Back, this time October 9th, 10-9. MMA scoring day, official judging day, but most importantly, happy Leif Erikson Day to all those who celebrate out there, October 9th here in the States. I am one-third of the Boys in the Back. Connor Burks joined alongside me, as always. Leif Erikson himself, Mr. New York Rick.
Are you a big Leif Erikson guy?
Nah, I'm a SpongeBob fan growing up. And
okay.
Wakes up. Happy Leif Erikson Day. Yingy dingy durgan or whatever he says on the show. But it's October 9th.
Okay.
So yeah, it's an honor to be able to do a show on Leif Erikson Day. Frankie, how are we doing back there, brother?
So glad that you asked. We had a really good Cobb salad for lunch. I'm
was
also
it a Cobb
appreciating
salad?
the fact. Well, you know, there was a couple of variations done to the traditional Cobb salad recipe, but they were all good. Like instead of turkey, they used chicken, so it's still poultry. The salad dressing was not ranch, was a little disappointing. But overall, I'd give it like an 8 out of 10. I thank you for asking.
This
next
is the
time you
part
can
in the
just
show
say-
where Raven tunes out. Right here. Right there.
Shout out to Raven if he's watching, if he decided to tune in. Yes, we are not Helwani. So
I asked
feel
him
free to
actually
click
as
it
he was
off.
leaving, like,
Yeah.
What are the chances of you watching the show? And he's like, nevermore. And then he hung up.
Well, if he is listening or watching, stick around. We think it's going to be an entertaining show. So
I guarantee it's going to be an entertaining show. We got to talk about UFC Rio. We got to talk about the potential of Alex Pereira fighting Jon Jones. We got some news and notes to react to. An all-time pound for pound coming your way. Voicemails, super chats. Our voicemail
volume.
filterer.
Yeah.
The man who goes through the voicemails has promised me that it's going to be a great day on the
love
voicemail.
that.
So I'm looking forward to that. Let's start with some news and notes. And right off the top, one of our very own, an official boy in the back, got some news this morning. Malcolm Wellmaker will be fighting just up the road. You can almost see it through the window there. Madison Square Garden. Malcolm Wellmaker will be taking on Sergey City. I believe that's going to be his third UFC fight in like the last 6 months of the year, man. He's staying active. I think he did April, or maybe it was May, June, and now November.
Yeah.
So staying active, looking to go 3-0 in 2025 after a massive debut on Contender Series last August. Nothing against Sergey City, but you know who we're supporting there.
Yeah, and stylistically, you do have to think that the power is going to be the difference here for Malcolm. But a good name, a good opponent, a good litmus test for where you're at in your career.
Good venue to be on.
A fantastic platform. You win this one, and it starts to be like, okay, like we can put the wind in the sails of Malcolm Wellmaker.
Especially if he does it in emphatic fashion like he has in his first 2 fights.
I mean, he's got the knockout power. He's got the style, right? He's got a hell of a look. He's got an incredible smile. He can speak. He can do promos, even for local lawyers and the other sponsors that he has. He's got it all, and he's got a great story. The welder business that we spoke to him about when he was a guest on Boys in the Back. He's the complete package if he can continue to ascend in the way that he should.
Still got the O as well, 10-0.
Undefeated.
Some other news we saw around the world of MMA, Justin Tafa stepping away from the game for a little bit. Says he doesn't know if he'll be back, but if we do see him back, we will see the best version to date of Justin Tafa. Man, it kind of feels like Justin Jr. It's kind of win-loss,
Yeah.
pulling out. It feels like it's not full steam ahead for the Tafa brothers right now.
Yeah, and we've seen other fighters do this before, right? Where it's like, I just need to take some time away from the game and kind of reset myself, center myself. Sometimes even just heal up, right? Like sometimes the aggressive schedule of like, I'm training for a fight, I'm getting injured, can't make it to that fight. I get a new fight booked, I'm training, I'm injured, I can't make it. I do fight, I get injured in that fight. Sometimes you just need this time off to kind of reset yourself, whether it be physical, whether it be mental. And so whatever Justin decided and why he decided to step away, best of luck to him. And I hope we do see him back because, as you said, it's been up and down, but it's never been boring when Justin Tafa steps in the cage. He is trying to hurt people, and if he can't, he's going to get hurt himself. He's a killer be killed type fighter, and that's what the UFC needs. And at heavyweight especially, those guys tend to thrive. So hopefully we see him back, but if we don't, had an admirable run as a UFC heavyweight.
Also, to your point, UFC heavyweight. He's only 31 years old, so he has a long runway ahead of him to continue to fight at the UFC level. And Lord knows they got an Australia card with his name written on it. I mean,
Absolutely.
he's just like, go ahead and pencil in the Tafa brothers anytime the UFC goes to Australia, which seems to be more and more frequently as of late. Not in the world of MMA, but in the world of boxing. A return being teased by one Carl Froch. Took
The Cobra?
The Cobra, baby. You and I know him. Sold out 80,000 at Wembley.
Yeah.
Sure did. The Last Dance with an eyes emoji as he gets his gloves laced up.
So impactful. It's liked by Ariel already.
Good to see you.
Shout out to Ariel Adipo. Shout out to Carl Froch. Who could it be against?
I don't know. Jake Paul gonna have the Cobra come and iron him out? Are we finally having it? Is that finally happening?
I forgot there was that moment in time this year where I was tuning into every Carl Froch video. And the way that he referred to ironing out everyone was fantastic.
The ironing out Jake Paul is.
Do you
one
need
of my
the Cobra
favorites.
to come iron you out?
I will say, all jokes aside, it could be interesting depending on who the opponent is.
All jokes aside, Darren Till, Carl Froch. That's what I want to see.
I would watch that 100%.
It would sell. The trash talk would be amazing. The banter would be fantastic. And obviously Carl Froch, wildly skilled at boxing. It would be a good fight for Darren Till. It would be a very good litmus test of where Darren Till is at in this boxing.
Absolutely. It's one of those fights where, I'm comparing it to Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, but please, understand where I'm coming from. The only reason it could be made is because Carl Froch is much older, right? If this was happening in their primes, there's no doubt in my mind Carl Froch blows the doors off Darren Till. The fact that he is older and retired and coming out of retirement to then face Darren Till is what evens the playing field, is what makes this a compelling fight. And so I'm interested in a potential fight between the two. We are just, speculating. That is not something that we're hearing. That is not something that we're reporting. But I think that would be a fantastic fight if that ends up being the opponent.
Yeah, I mean, Darren Till just 32 years old, Carl Froch 48. So a massive age difference, but obviously at their peaks, a massive skill difference in the sport of boxing. So let's see. Let's see what the Cobra's got for us heading into 2026. One last dance. Some other stuff that's hit the timeline.
I'm picturing Carl Froch winning and Ariel in the ring with him, with the microphone after.
Misfits card?
Yeah, why not?
I mean, I'm down. Whoever will pay the money that's pretty much all that matters.
Sorry.
Alex Pereira.
Yes.
Returns to Brazil after winning the belt back this past Saturday against Magomed Ankalaev, and went to a gym, a school. It's something in Brazil with a lot of kids at it. And they were hyped to see Alex Pereira return. Take a look at it.
I believe it might be his gym, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm not actually 100% sure. We'd have to look into it, but I know he did just when he came on the show with Ariel, he announced that charity that he was doing.
They start chanting, and then he says, wait, stop, everyone. He says, how about Shama? The pop from Shama is just insane, man. And they all scream Shama as well. This is superstar level stuff right here.
Not only is it superstar level stuff, but it's just one of the things that's so fantastic about Alex is he just doesn't forget his roots. He knows where he's from. He continues to come back. He pays homage to his people, not even just going back to Brazil, but the indigenous roots in Brazil as well. He is all about his history, his family's history, his country's history. He's a very connected, grounded type of guy. It makes him very easy to root for in addition to just the fighting style. And you love to see that.
You said, speaking of the roots,
yeah.
We also got another video that he posted in the last couple of days of him returning to the tire shop that he used to work at. Here's that video. Hello, everyone. As promised, I said after the fight I was going to come back to the tire shop. Ankalaev was right. We are here today giving presents, as always. Every time I come to Brazil, I come to the tire shop. This is right here, everyone. Right here is where it all started. This is the place that was a very beautiful story, Shama. And if you can't tell, in the back, there is a giant tire that I think it says UFC Ankalaev Poatan. Yeah, it says Ankalaev on it though. I don't know if they wrote that afterward, beforehand. I don't know what that is, but they got Ankalaev written on a tire, which is pretty tremendous.
And we're seeing the boot on Alex there.
Yeah, talking about the injury that he had going into it. I mean, just incredible to see this guy. A, the performance he put on Saturday night, and B, to return home and just get this love and admiration of a superstar. It's incredible whenever you see these guys from these other countries when they go home and they get this appreciation.
Yeah, I speaking of that tire shop, I worked for a long time for a PR agency. Shout out Jack Taylor. Shout out John Beer.
Keep my fucking name out your mouth.
No, I think they would appreciate the shout out. And one of our clients was Glory Kickboxing. So I did PR work for Glory Kickboxing, and Alex was one of the fighters. And so was Israel, and one of the, the names that I would continue to try to work with media outlets to give attention to. I didn't know much of Alex's story then, but John O'Regan, shout out to John O'Regan, one of the true OGs of this combat sports media space, did a story about Alex and that tire shop and his battles with alcoholism, which we've now heard. A lot of people have seen that story come out, but he did the first article I can remember on it. Whether I don't remember if it was for glorykickboxing.com or for Bloody Elbow, because he did both duties at that time. But man, the life path that Alex Pereira could have been on, he was just wasting away at a tire shop, drinking himself to death, and just decided to get into kickboxing. Then, from there, kind of ho-hum, as I said before, when Izzy and Alex were both in Glory, Izzy was a little bit better fighting for the championship. Once Izzy left and became a star UFC fighter, Alex actually ascended. Alex actually became incredibly good in kickboxing, beating Artem Vakitov, who is one of the top ever. And so the path, the journey from tire shop to now in the UFC as reclaimed light heavyweight champion, talks of going up to heavyweight champion, is absolutely insane. This guy was on the verge of just being absolutely nothing and wasting a life, and now he's living this incredible life and coming back and opening a charity to mentor children and make sure they don't go down that path. It's a beautiful story that one day should probably be a movie.
Movie, documentary, anything. Does any sport compared to MMA create by sheer volume the amount of unbelievable stories like MMA does?
From the rags to riches perspective, probably boxing and MMA. Those are probably the two top, because combat sports is such a you start in the gym, somebody gives you an opportunity, but you really don't have anything, and you kind of just show up one day, and then you eventually make it to not everybody, right? There's lots of people who are now training MMA, who have money and could afford to take these classes and this. But the early stories of boxing, the early stories of MMA are hard luck. You show up in the gym and all of a sudden you can make something of yourself. And now you're headlining MSG. I can't quite think of another sport that does it quite like that. Maybe football, maybe soccer. There's some guys who are just kicking around a ball in these impoverished areas and all of a sudden are making mega contracts.
Yeah, all of a sudden they're playing at the Etihad
in front of 120,000
at the Bernabeu. Yeah. It truly is incredible though. I mean, it's inspirational stuff. Him and Merab, the two champions from Saturday night, just incredibly inspirational dudes. Yeah. You mentioned that he could be moving up to heavyweight now. And going on to maybe fighting Jon Jones, maybe trying to become a triple champion, a champion in 3 different weight classes. Do you think, with your heart of hearts, that the next fight for Alex Pereira is against Jon Jones?
Yes, I do. Because I don't think either Carlos Oberg or a rematch with Yuri is a more attractive option, right? If you're Alex Pereira, why not wait to see if that resolves? If Jon Jones is serious about coming back, and I think we should start with, we obviously have to see what Jon Jones's demeanor and position is after the passing of his brother, right? We know nothing at this point about where Jon Jones is at mentally. We know nothing about how he's been impacted by this. He put out a social media post just to let people know where the services are and things like that. But we have not really heard from Jon Jones on this, and I don't expect we will. He tends to be more of a private person unless he's got his Twitter fingers going. And so the next time we hear from Jon Jones, maybe we'll get a better sense of that. It's all caveated by that, right? We don't really know where Jon Jones' head is at. If Jon Jones is mentally okay after the passing of his brother and says, no, this is actually motivation for me. I want to fight on the White House card because this is a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and I know life is too short. I need to be on that card. I am fairly confident that the UFC would be interested in booking Alex Pereira versus Jon Jones, despite what Dana White kind of said after the fight.
I also think because of what you mentioned, the Oberg or the Yuri 3 doesn't really intrigue him that much. I also think it's perfect spot for the UFC to be like, well, we have a vacant light heavyweight title fight waiting to happen. There's really no other option. There's no one else it could be. If he leaves and goes to heavyweight, it's obvious it should be Yuri versus Oberg. So the UFC would be okay with it while they get to make a monster mega fight between Jon Jones and Alex Pereira.
Not only that, but I think it helps Yuri and it helps Carlos. Either of those guys is going to be a massive underdog heading into a fight with Alex Pereira, right? Alex Pereira was in the basement. after the Magomed loss, he was a 230 underdog. What'd you say he
Yeah, plus
ended up
230 is what I'd
plus
say.
230. He will not be a plus 230 underdog to Carlos Ulberg or Yuri Prohaska. He will be a big favorite.
He will be a favorite for sure over Ulberg, and then it would be impossible to not make him a sizable favorite over Yuri when he's already got the 2 finish wins banked.
Yeah, his aura is back. The support, the public feeling on him is back. He has he did a good job of showing people that he was at 40%, right? Because sometimes guys say that and then they show up and their performance is the same. He put that storyline out there and he had to deliver on that, and he did deliver on that. He showed what the best version of Alex Pereira can look like. Unfortunately, Magomed was compromised, and I don't see people throwing him the same bail, which is kind of interesting. Like, he was also hurt in this fight and nobody seems to give a shit. They only cared when it was Alex.
About that too, like Alex was just going off of like, yeah, it was 40%, man. I wasn't doing that well. Ankalaev, there's like literal video of him getting like his ribs stapled up. So yeah, I mean, you do give him the grace, but like, unfortunately, like he did go into the fight knowing that he had broken ribs.
Absolutely.
Like that was a choice that he had to make.
And I don't think he'll get the rematch, unfortunately, for him.
This is a sport based on star power. A lot of that has to do with the matchups that end up getting made, and just because of the massive difference in star power, I don't think he'll get it, and also the fact that he never had any defenses as well.
And so the point I was getting to with the Carlos and Yuri thing is, I think it helps the division. There's not a lot for Alex to do at light heavyweight anymore, right? You could fight Carlos, who's one of the only names left that you haven't fought, but then what? Well, a rematch with Yuri, a rematch with Magomed. Like, how many times are we going to go around this dance? How many times are we going to do this? The biggest fights for Alex Pereira, as far as a UFC property go, are always going to be at heavyweight now, right? Because he's been there and done that for light heavyweight. And quite frankly, outside of Yuri, there's not really anybody who gets people excited, right? There's not really anybody in that division that starts to generate the buzz in the way that Yuri does.
Carlos Ulberg included in that, man.
Yeah.
Like, I know he just headlined a card in Perth and he got a massive knockout and he's on this long win streak, and now he's 9-1 in the UFC, and he's got the look and everything, but like, he doesn't get people like to tune in. He does.
No.
He does not have that star power yet.
But if he goes out there and gets a huge win over somebody like Yuri, you can start to build on that, right? And so I think it's a perfect matchup. Yuri versus Carlos to get that belt, and then a Magomed versus Yuri fight, a Magomed versus Carlos fight. Those are now very compelling and very interesting for the light heavyweight division. You move on from the era of Alex Pereira, and you allow him to go up to heavyweight, where his biggest fights lay ahead. A fight with Tom Aspinall, a fight with Jon Jones, hell, even a fight with like a Alex Pereira versus Derek Lewis, for example, would be an absolutely stupid and hilariously exciting fight that everybody would tune in for. So there's so many things that you could potentially do with Alex Pereira at heavyweight that I think it instantaneously becomes a lot more compelling. Now, granted, the drop off between Tom John and like a Derek Lewis or anybody else that you can match him up against is massive. Those are the two, but I just think there's so many fresh opportunities that could make a lot of sense for Alex Pereira. As far as the Jon Jones side of it, if you're Jon Jones, like you've been saying all along, you want a big fight. Respect to Tom Aspinall, this is a bigger fight. And I said this last year when everybody disagreed with me. When everybody was saying Tom versus Jon was the biggest fight that the UFC could make, I always raised my hand and said Alex versus Jon is actually the biggest fight the UFC can make. I stand by that today. I think the momentum is heading in that direction again today. And I think that potentially, as the YouTube thumbnail, shout out to our graphic designer Oven, says, could be the biggest fight in UFC history depending on what you're measuring, right? The gold standard, the number one mark right now is obviously Conor versus Khabib. It sold the most pay-per-views. It created the most buzz. It generated the most attention. It's a rivalry that has stood the test of time. It is a rivalry that still goes on to this day. Conor McGregor definitely still wants that one back. Khabib less so because he got the job done the first time. To me, the number of eyeballs that are going to be on the fight between potentially Alex Pereira and Jon Jones is the type of thing that should motivate Alex Pereira, Jon Jones, the UFC, and everybody involved to try to make it happen. And it could potentially be the most watched MMA fight of all time.
Man, headlining UFC White House, Alex Pereira, Jon Jones. You say, if you had to put a yes or no on it, bigger than McGregor Khabib?
It depends on what the measurement is, right? Will it ultimately generate more business and be here's what I'll say. I don't think it will be as important. Conor versus Khabib was one of the most important fights across any combat sport. It was definitely the most important fight in UFC history. It was the culmination of everything that they had built. We put on the biggest spectacle and drew this pay-per-view number. It could not, the importance of it cannot be underestimated. It was extremely important at that time. The UFC is in a much different place now. They don't need Jon versus Alex the way they needed Khabib versus Conor to take that next elevation, to be able to be getting $1.1 billion per year. They needed Conor McGregor and they needed Khabib to get there. If they don't put on Jon versus Alex, I don't think they will be losing a step. I don't think they will be elevating that same way. But I do believe if they do put on Jon versus Alex, the number of eyeballs, the sheer eyeballs that are going to be on that, and having the GOAT of your sport in it versus a guy that has, in the last couple of years, become an absolute legend already, is going to have a massive impact on the culture.
Yeah, it's just hard to wrap my head around the idea of a fight being bigger than Conor versus Khabib, especially when it doesn't involve Conor McGregor again. But man, I guess like this would be like a close second to what you could do other than having Conor McGregor in it.
The number of eyeballs is going to be 10x.
Right, like whenever I talk about the White House card, it's always just like they need a fight that's going to match that stature, that's going to like casual fans are going to recognize. And like Jon Jones is a name that fans will recognize, especially going against a guy like Alex Pereira, plus the storyline that you can create with Alex Pereira going up to heavyweight. Oh, could this be him? If he gets through Jon Jones, he could be trying to chase a triple championship and create history there. It obviously is riding a lot on it being the White House. It's just, man, the comparison, it's just tough to compare the two. Yeah,
as I said, you will never convince me that the importance of that fight will surpass it. I just don't think the UFC needs these things like that. Like they needed big fights back in that day when they needed Conor McGregor and Ronda Rousey to elevate them, when they needed them to get them to the next level. The UFC is a machine that cannot be stopped, and they don't need them like that anymore. But just sheer numbers-wise, just sheer metrics-wise, the viewership for this White House card is going to be astronomical. It's going to be mind-blowing. It's going to be mainstream sports level, and we have not seen that for MMA. We have not seen that in a long time. There were fights on network TV during the ESPN era. They were on ABC, and they were kind of just ho-hum fights. They never really committed to it. It was not pay-per-views. They were all fight nights.
The only one I believe that was of pay-per-view quality was UFC 267, where they did the Abu Dhabi card, Jan versus Glover.
Yeah, and they only did that because did they lose the main event? There was a reason. There was a short notice change for some reason or another, and they did that. Or maybe it was the timing of the event.
Yeah, I think it was like the timing of the event or something like that. Or maybe they were just doing a favor for ABC. But that was the only pay-per-view one they did. Everything else was fight nights.
Yeah, and in the previous era on Fox, they did some broadcast ones. In fact, the debut on Fox was a heavyweight title fight between Junior Dos Santos and Cain Velasquez, which had major viewership in a previous era. Kimbo Slice used to fight on CBS, and so there is precedent for network television, but the scale and magnitude of this event is going to surpass that by leaps and bounds. And so, again, metrics wise, I think this is going to be insane. The social media impressions. I was just going to say,
the social media impressions, the YouTube era that we live in now, it potentially being on CBS, just the audience that you're going to bring in because the fight is taking place at the White House, and you do have two massive names to go with it. Like it's not like we're talking about like, and no offense to either of these fighters, but it's not like Alexander Volkanovski versus Lerone Murphy. Like it's like Jon Jones versus Alex Pereira, two of your biggest stars with an intriguing storyline behind it. Yeah, I guess it could potentially do it. I guess potentially it could.
Alex is a modern fighter. That's the other key, right? It's not like Alex is like a name that it's like, oh, he's the old guard, he's the established guy. We hope you know his name. He's in the last 4 years put on the type of run that everybody knows his name because of what he's been able to do, and it's insane.
Also, the look, the highlight reel, the painting, the arrow. It's pretty easy to sell if you don't know who he is. Here's a 10-minute video on Alex Pereira and why you should be intrigued by his story. Like you can sell that easily.
And on the Jon Jones side of it, it's the GOAT.
Yeah,
he's facing the GOAT. It's quite simple.
Yeah, I can see the promos now running on CBS. During the Masters in April. And it's just like, don't forget, just a couple months away, UFC White House. And it's Jon Jones and Alex Pereira in the middle of a golf broadcast or something like that.
It makes too much sense.
And imagine, for Alex Pereira, say that's his next fight. Let's just say this all happens and he's fighting Jon Jones next at UFC White House. You would imagine that would have to be the headliner. They're not going to do that with the Conor McGregor fight on it.
I agree.
If that's the case and he's headlining that, he'll have headlined the White House.
Oh my God.
International Fight Week, UFC 300, MSG twice. It'll be his 13th UFC fight, and he'll have headlined for the 9th time. all of the other ones being pay-per-views in the pay-per-view era. Like, he has a chance.
Where he was probably on the main card.
Yeah.
Where's
On the main card or on a pay-per-view. I think he's only fought on one fight night.
There you
I
go.
think it was the Bruno Silva fight at the
first or
Apex.
second.
Like
Okay,
like
great.
super random fight early on. And it's just like, damn, y'all had Alex Pereira in the Apex. Like he has the potential. Say his 13th UFC fight is against Jon Jones. He wins that, and then he fights for the heavyweight title, and then wins that. Let's just say we're living in a hypothetical world.
Yep.
Wins that, and then just defends it one more time. 15-fight UFC career, like all-time GOAT shit, triple champ, International Fight Week 300, MSG, White House, like the resume that this guy could build in less than 15 fights. And like at that point, it'll have been 5 years in the organization is like impossible to wrap your head around.
Two things are crazy about that.
Impossible to wrap your head around.
It seems impossible, but he somehow made the impossible possible. Two things. The first is, it's not even far-fetched what you're saying right now. That's the crazy part. The craziest thing is he's got 2 fights, and they could be his next 2 fights. Very realistic.
He's 2 fights away from doing everything that I just said.
Yeah.
Like we've already done the major legwork, the fact that he made it to the UFC, became champion, took out Izzy, then went up to light heavyweight, got his belt back as well. Like we're already 12 fights into this 14-fight resume I just listed out. Obviously, the last 2 probably being the 2 biggest hurdles would be beating the GOAT and going up a division to do so, and then potentially beating the new age heavyweight champion.
Yeah. But
could you fucking imagine
the getting of those fights is within reach. This is not fantasy world.
Yeah.
This is not like, and he just needs to win 3 more and he's going to get the title shot. He's there. He can command a Jon Jones fight, which he did in the cage, or wanted to in the cage and then did in the post fight, because he has reached that level. The other part that's absolutely crazy about that is sitting here today, if he beats Jon Jones, and man, all right, I was about to say something crazy. Let me.
We're living in a fantasy land right now.
If
so
he
you might
beats
as well
Jon
say it.
Jones and Tom Aspinall, he's the GOAT. I don't think it's even questionable.
I actually don't think that's crazy.
I don't think it. No, I was about to say if it just beats Jon Jones, and then I was like, fuck, he really kind of needs that heavyweight title because it would really solidify it. I was about to say if he just beats Jon Jones, he might be the GOAT. The speed run that he's on is just never. You will never touch this. I know Conor McGregor's run was magical, and as it should be celebrated as such. Ronda Rousey's initial run was absolutely insane. The stuff that he's been able to do in this short amount of time, as you said, like the headline spots that he's been in, every single fight has been pressure, killer. And it's not like he's just going out there and like ho-humming it. He's destroying people along the entire path. Nobody has done it quite like this. If he beats Jon and Tom, he would be the GOAT. And I would have to actually check in where I stand if he just beats Jon, because he would have beaten the GOAT, the guy that I had as the GOAT. Now, it's on the tail end of his career, so you start to have to weigh that. But, man.
All right. 2 things. If you just look at his resume, it's almost like I think he just let Magomed beat him the first time just so he could say that he was beating a guy who held the belt, because his wins, Sean Strickland held the belt, Izzy held the belt, Jan held the belt, Yuri held the belt, Jamal Hill held the belt, Yuri again held the belt, Khalil, a title challenger, obviously. Ankalaev, he loses so he could give Ankalaev the belt. And then it's like, oh, yeah, but I also beat this former champion here. Obviously, I'm saying that in jest. I have odds for his potential 3 next fights. Let's start with light heavyweight. Carlos Ulberg, what do you think the odds are?
Minus 400.
Wow. Minus 185, Alex Pereira.
Take that shit
Ulberg
to the
plus
bank.
160. Yuri Prochazka.
Okay, maybe minus 400 there?
Minus 300.
Okay.
Prochazka plus 250.
Makes more sense.
Jon Jones.
Plus 175.
Jon Jones minus 800. Alex Pereira
stupid.
plus 575.
That's stupid.
Yeah. Minus
I
800.
I think the style would definitely be very good for Jon Jones and favorable for Jon Jones. But as we were talking about earlier, like with even the Carl Froch, and we're talking about now, it's not 2013 anymore. You know, that's not the Jon Jones he's facing. If you give me that Jon Jones, I'm taking Jon Jones against anybody. There's nobody in history who was ever better than the prime Jon Jones. We're out of that era. That doesn't exist anymore. So if you're telling me that Alex Pereira has a whatever, what can you quickly look up what the percentage odds on that number would be?
Yes, yeah.
But if you're telling me Alex Pereira has a 5% chance of beating Jon Jones, I just don't buy that. Like the insane amount of power that this guy carries, he's going to be in a fight against everybody. And Jon Jones, I said it during the week,
giving him an 11% chance.
Yeah, okay. I don't, that there's value. There's plus EV on Alex Pereira there. Like, you can't tell me that Jon Jones beat Alex Pereira 90% of the time because A, it's a diminished Jon Jones. He is just older, right? And B, Jon Jones is a heavyweight who comes in, what did he come in last time? 240 something, 250 something. There's a lot of fat on that body. Like, it is not like a lean, trim Jon Jones. The speed advantage, the hand speed, the power, the agility is all going to be on the side of Alex. So if you're telling me that Alex is not going to have some moments to potentially pressure Jon Jones, out of 10 fights, Jon Jones is winning that 9 times. I'm leaning with the underdog there, and I say that as somebody who thinks Jon Jones is the unequivocal GOAT. Nobody is in the conversation other than Jon for me.
And I'm seeing MMA On Point, great Twitter account, great YouTube channel. They tweeted out a graphic of the odds for a future fight, and it says -285 plus 210. I don't know what book they're getting at, but I'm looking at a book where you can actively bet it right now. Jon Jones -800, Alex Pereira plus 575. So maybe it opened at -285.
That
I don't
number
know.
that you said sounds a lot more realistic. That number, okay.
Yeah, they don't
understand.
accredit a book or anything. I'm looking at Bet Online just in transparency, just because they have future odds up for fights way in the future. Very interesting to see those odds though.
I'm honestly a little bit surprised, and I don't want to spend all day on this, but I'm honestly a little surprised at that Carlos Ulberg line. Like, to me, Yuri feels a little more dangerous than Carlos in a fight with Alex. I know he lost twice, but if you're
the 2 losses and also all of the year, the performance was incredible. Like, obviously we know that, but he was down 2 rounds to 0 going into that one.
Yeah, I see Yuri as more dangerous in a fight against Alex. You have to be chaotic against Alex. You have to do something that is not just most of the fighters who fight Alex are standing with him, right? Like, when's the last
Goldberg
time?
Obviously would.
When's the last time somebody really aggressively shot takedowns on Alex Pereira? I'm not counting the Magomed fight because, let's be honest, it was much more clinching. It was not half-ass takedown attempts. It's not like Magomed was struggling to try and get takedowns, right?
Jan fight?
Yeah, maybe.
Jan was able to get some takedowns in a very close split decision loss. And then Izzy in the first fight was able to get takedowns.
Those were a little bit reactive. Nobody's really committed to a takedown game plan.
Andreas Michailidis in the first round.
Yeah, and then what happened? But
he got his head kneed into the 5th row.
He's mostly facing guys who are strikers, and I hate to do this, but breaking fucking news, Alex Pereira is a better striker than all of you. He's going to knock your head off. And I said this heading into the first Magomed fight, and then I kind of had to eat crow. But then we saw what happened in the second one. You can't stand with Alex Pereira. That's just a death sentence. You need to have an advantage. At light heavyweight, I don't see anybody who has that advantage. At heavyweight now, it becomes a lot more interesting.
Last thing I want to say on this is if he does leave light heavyweight, it kind of leaves the division in disarray. It's you've got Magomed Ankalaev, who is just the champion as the #1 contender, tied with Yuri Prochazka. They're both the #1 contender according to the UFC rankings website. And then you have Carlos Ulberg after that. Those are the 3 main guys. Yeah, you can see the graphic right here. Jan Blachowicz, man, coming off a loss. Khalil Roundtree, coming off a loss. Jamal Hill, I think a 3-fight losing streak now. Alexander Rakic, 3-fight losing streak. Dominic Reyes, coming off a loss. Volkan Ozdemir, coming off a loss. Azamat Murzakanov, obviously coming off of a win. But talk about star power and everything like that. That's lacking with Azamat Murzakanov, and he's just on the breadth of the top 10. And then after that, it's Bogdan Guskov, Johnny Walker, Nikita Krylov, Alonzo Minifield, and Zhang Ming Yang.
Okay, but devil's advocate.
Sure.
To me, I feel like it opens an opportunity, right? In the same way when Jon Jones left, it allowed for the rise of Alex Pereira.
Sure.
Jan was the next champion, and then it transferred hands. Ultimately, Alex Pereira got on top and reigned on top. To me, that's an opportunity for these guys. Carlos Ulberg may win the belt and then may knock off the next 4, 5, 6 contenders, and all of a sudden we're going, holy shit, Carlos Ulberg is the light heavyweight GOAT. He's definitely not the GOAT, Jon Jones. Well, he has a lot of work to do to catch Jon Jones, but Carlos Ulberg is a fantastic light heavyweight. Oh my God.
Carlos's 5 light heavyweight defenses are better than Jon Jones's 15.
I fucked up. But you could realistically go oh my God, Carlos is a guy. He's going to be around forever in the same way that we kind of feel about Alex Pereira. I think it opens more opportunities because if Alex is sitting there at the top and we have this wasteland that you're pointing to, it feels a lot more desolate because they can't even get there. And when they get there, they're just going to get knocked out by Alex Pereira. It's kind of just like this no-win situation.
Yeah, man, it's amazing to look at these ranks. Like, Rakic looked like a guy for a minute. 3-fight losing streak. Like, I know he can
he's
obviously
in a close
turn things
fight
around.
with Magomed. It's not like he's a trash can.
Yeah, no, of course not.
You need
He's in a very close fight with Yuri until Yuri went Yuri.
Exactly. You need these guys to start fighting each other. And I think by Alex leaving the division, there's going to be a lot less posturing. There's going to be a lot less sitting on your record, your ranking rather. There's going to be a lot of people looking at it as an opportunity and going, I need to fight now so that I could get into a position to get this title. So I actually think it would actually be good for light heavyweight because we'd start seeing some like new names coming in. We'd start seeing some momentum. We'd separate the wheat from the chaff, and we'd start to like see like what's really happening here.
Yeah, I think if he leaves, the obvious is Carlos and Yuri, and then I guess like to your point, you just let it sort itself out. From
Magomed versus somebody. Maybe he gets back to the title if he beats them. Even Rakic versus somebody. You can.
Magomed Khalil.
Yeah, shit. Let's do it. Khalil can get back there. Magomed can get back there. Alex is the obstacle to this because
Small
he has
Hill
so many
versus
wins.
Alexander Rakic.
Let's do it. I'm in.
Someone's got to end the losing streak between the two. Azman Mirzakhanov, I guess you can start giving him fights. I think he's actually booked for one soon. Azman Mirzakhanov, isn't he undefeated as well? Shows how much I know about my top 10, the professional. Oh, he's fighting Alexander Rakic in 2 weeks. God damn it.
Great fight. Is he undefeated though?
I'm fucking sitting here talking about how they don't have ones. Yeah, 15-0. Azman Mirzakhanov, the professional. All right, we're moving in light heavyweight. I'm sorry for sleeping on you, the professional. I didn't know ball like that. Shout out to Azman Mirzakhanov, bro.
That's a good fight.
UFC 321. It's a great fight. It's a great fight. Can't wait for it. God damn it. The Raven would have known that, man. The Raven would have
Raven definitely knew
that the professional is fighting.
He's going to call the voicemail line later and be like, you casual.
Yeah, you casual fuck. All right. Going to be very interesting to see what's next for Alex Pereira. Going to be very interesting to see what division he's fighting in, who his opponent is. It's going to be fascinating stuff to watch in 2026. Let's go to this weekend, though. His home country hosting the event this weekend, UFC Rio. Charles Oliveira obviously getting the main event slot, the headline, sort of the weight carrier for this card was supposed to be fighting Rafael Fiziev. He has to pull out with an injury, so we get Mateusz Gamrot instead, a much different stylistic matchup for him. This card, top 3 fights are amazing. Cannot wait for those. You got Davison Figueiredo fighting our guy Montel Jackson in the co-main. You have Vicente Luque fighting Joel Alvarez in the featured bout. Bit of a drop-off from there.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a drop-off from there. But the top 3 fights I am very much looking forward to. Outside the main and co-main, the only ranked fighter on the card is Walter Bakker at number 15 in heavyweight.
Yeah, it's tough, as they say.
But I will say...
He hit the wrong drop.
What's up, Frankie?
It's tough.
There it is.
Thanks, Terrence. Appreciate that, bud. I will say, like,
were you saying Bud as in Bud Crawford, or are you saying Bud as in Buddy?
Bud as in Bud Crawford. Okay. Shout out Bud Crawford. It is tough. I feel you on that. But I don't think they need to stack it because Charles Oliveira is in the main event in Brazil. Like that's all that really matters.
As you said, that's the attraction here, right? The attraction is Charles Oliveira homecoming. Like I'm
you don't really need anything else.
No, but also they've done the thing that they do with all the like local cards is there's tons of Brazilians on this card, and so the energy in the arena is going to be massive. It doesn't necessarily need stakes outside of we get to watch the Brazilian fighters succeed. We get to see our heroes fight, and so look, this is more of a local for that crowd card than it is like the TV, like this is the can't miss TV product. But then when you get to the top 3 fights, like those are objectively good fights. Maybe this is a spoiler, but like the third fight from the top is the GC Bull
easily
for this week.
Are you kidding me? Like, what are we talking about here? That is the GC main event. Joel Alvarez making his debut at welterweight against Vicente Luque. The guy's an absolute animal. If you've never watched him, he rips people's heads off. He's an absolute savage. We'll get to that one in a minute. Let's start with the main event, though. Charles Oliveira taking on Mateusz Gamrot. Like we mentioned, supposed to be Fiziev, striker. Now he gets Gamrot. Much more of a grappler. Will say, little note, 17-0 in Brazil for Charles Oliveira through his early career, and then being in the UFC as well, has fought there several times. 17-0. That's I believe I saw Danny Segura tweeting that out in an interview with him reacting to that. So shout out to Charles Oliveira in Rio. He's also coming back 3 3.5 months, call it like 14 weeks after getting brutally knocked out by Ilia Topuria, like straight flat line center of the octagon, like completely buckled. At his age as well, the damage that he's taken, like, is that of any concern to you?
No, because against Fiziev it would be, and against Gamrot it's not, right?
So because of Fiziev's finishing capability, the power that he holds in his hands, it is a concern. But because Gamrot is much more of a volume, grapple, scramble type guy, it doesn't concern you as much.
Yeah, Gamrot's path to victory in this fight is grappling, is wrestling Charles Oliveira. If he stands with Charles, I give the major advantage to Charles. As we've seen outside of the Ilia fight, like Charles can take a punch. Even when he gets dropped, he tends to find a way to kind of scramble and protect himself and find a way to win a fight. And so, yeah, I would have to imagine that stylistically, Gamrot's path to victory here is controlling Charles Oliveira and not letting him get his game off. So my concerns about like the brain health of Charles Oliveira are not as high, just based on the style.
We saw at UFC 300 Charles Oliveira take on Arman Tsarukyan, who also typically has a grappling heavy style game plan. And the thing when Charles was on his championship run was it was just like, and we saw it with a lot of these dudes, they were sort of afraid to go to the ground with him. And then you get a guy like Islam Makhachev, you get a guy like Arman Tsarukyan that doesn't fear that. And obviously Islam able to get the finish, Arman able to just rack up like 9 minutes of control time across the fight and win the last 2 rounds after losing the first one. I feel like Gamrot is probably going to attack this fight in a similar manner.
I agree with you. The question is going to become, is he of that level? Is Gamrot of the level of an Islam and an Arman? My argument would be, I don't think so, because the key to Islam and Arman is that they also offer you something else, right? The key to Islam and Arman is that they're also going to be dangerous to you in the clinch. They're also going to be dangerous to you on the feet. I don't think Gamrot poses those exact same problems. I think Gamrot's a fantastic grappler, certainly grappling-wise on the level of those other 2 guys, but he doesn't pose the other problems in the different phases of MMA that those guys do, so it makes it easier for Charles to kind of like navigate that math, right? He has to protect himself in the grappling, but he also has opportunities to do things in the striking that he might not against a guy as good as a Makhachev or a guy as good as Arman Tsarukyan, who I do have a level above Gamrot. Granted, Gamrot and Arman
head-to-head win over him
in a great fight. But
it's also 3.5 years ago.
Yeah, I favor Arman now. This version of Arman I think is far superior to that version, and I have him as the #1 contender outright. Like I think Arman is number 2. I was going to say behind Islam. Islam's not in the division anymore. He might be the best lightweight. Ilia Topuria certainly can make that claim as well. I would like to see that fight one day down the road. But either way, I think Arman is fantastic, and I have him above Gamrot at the moment. But that grappling style is hard to deal with, and Charles Oliveira is not best off his back, right? He has submissions, and he has been able to find them, but his best attacks are going to be when he's in the scramble or when he's flowing with the jiu-jitsu or he's on top and he's able to find something. It's not necessarily when he's being controlled like we saw in the Arman Tsarukyan fight, where Arman was controlling where that fight was playing out and keeping himself safe. So it will be interesting for me to see if Gamrot can implement that, but my fear from the Gamrot side is I don't have a fear that Gamrot will try to do this, nor do I have a fear that he will have some success. My fear is that in the other phases, when it's not on the mat, Charles is going to have opportunities.
Okay, so I actually think in the striking, Charles Oliveira has an advantage here.
Agreed.
I think that the power that he has, just the volume that he can put up, the advantages that he can, the things that he can take advantage of in the striking to also work into his grappling, I like Charles Oliveira's chances on the feet. Now, I am with you. If Gamrot's able to get these takedowns, we could see something happen with the guys that you mentioned earlier, Islam and Arman. But Gamrot isn't like the biggest lay-in prayer. Like he'll get a ton of takedowns and like he'll have like the RDA fight. He got a bunch of takedowns, but like wasn't really like racking up a ton of control time throughout the fight. And if there's scrambles, that gives credence to Charles Oliveira and gives him an opportunity to potentially get the back. And like where he thrives, where he shines is when he's able to get on your back on the ground, and that's where he gets the submissions.
In the Arman fight, in the Dan Hooker fight, Gamrot is not like a control the entire round and just lay on top guy. He has these moments where he gives a position and people are able to scramble with him. And as I said, like there's the wrestling phase. There's the Gamrot on top wrestling phase where I think he is going to be winning that position and dominating. But in the striking phase, it's Charles for me. In the scrambling phase, it's Charles for me. And so I ultimately feel like there's going to be moments where Charles is going to have an opportunity, while I also feel like Gamrot's path to victory is more straightforward.
Gamrot knocked down by Arman Sarukian.
Yep.
Knocked down by Beneil Dariush.
Yep.
Knocked down bad by Beneil Dariush. Knocked down by Jalen Turner. Knocked down by RDA.
Yep.
All of those guys are at a level that I feel Charles Oliveira can join that club. Now, Mateusz Gamrot has never been finished before. I will say that.
Do you have how many people have knocked down Charles? Because it's happened quite a bit.
That's a good question.
Chandler knocked him down. I think Poirier knocked him down. Like he's kind of also
Poirier
in the same
obviously
boat.
knocked him down.
Poirier knocked him down.
He did knock down Beneil Dariush. Obviously, that was a fantastic knockout by him.
Yeah.
Islam knocked him down. Gaethje knocked him down. Poirier knocked him down. But of the strikers that I'm listing off,
Those are higher
they're
level.
much higher level
Of
than
course.
the ones that
Of
got
course.
knocked down by Gamrot.
This to me feels like a close fight. Like
Oh,
that's,
it's a very close
That's
fight.
where I am at.
There are many things that come into it that makes me feel very not confident in who I'm picking in it. I'm ultimately going to go with Charles Oliveira. The fact that it's in Rio, I like the striking advantage, but like the fact that he's coming back like 14 weeks after getting starched by Ilia Topuria does somewhat concern me.
Does it concern you less because it's Gamrot
Because
or
it's
not
Gamrot,
at
yes,
all?
it concerns me less, but not a ton.
Okay.
I mean, you talk about how many times he's gotten knocked down as well. Like he has accumulated damage, and like Gamrot, like if he gets going, potentially. I mean, I guess like the Scott Holtzman one is like really the only one where he's like
stop.
on the feet.
Stop that.
Yeah, I guess it's like really just going to be a wrestling path. And then like in the scrambles, I like Charles Oliveira there, but like it is just a bit of an unknown coming off of a loss like that to Ilia Topuria. The crowd, the scrambles, the striking, I'll give it to Charles. So like I'm going to pick Charles in the end, but it won't shock me if Gamrot is able to pull it off.
I'm going the same way. We'll know how this fight's going to go in the first round, in my opinion. If Charles does get taken down in the first round and his game plan, excuse me, let me drink some water.
Well, I actually think that the 5 rounds is beneficial to Charles just because he's so dangerous throughout a fight.
Probably because, as we said, we think he's going to get opportunities. But I think we'll know in the first round because I say that because if Gamrot is grappling with Charles and Charles is focused on playing jiu-jitsu rather than getting up, it's going to go Gamrot's way, in my opinion. If Charles is focused on scrambling and getting up, I'm very confident that Charles is going to be able to find something over the course of those 5 rounds. So if he's just comfortable to lay there and kind of try to play jiu-jitsu and try to lock up a submission and ultimately he's not having success, I could see that playing out for 5 rounds, no problem. Like that's Gamrot's game. He's going to be fine, in my opinion. If Charles is active in the sweeps, in the reversals, in the trying to force a scramble position and then getting up and then trying to hurt Gamrot on the break from those positions, I think it's going to be big trouble for Gamrot. So that's what I would like to see from Charles early is like if Gamrot's trying to secure a takedown or even does secure a takedown, show me that you're focused on getting out of that position as opposed to playing jiu-jitsu. If he does, I think it's going to be a long night for Gamrot.
The last few Rio cards, the crowd hasn't been like that insane. I'm hoping that changes for this one. I don't know if you saw this video of Charles Oliveira at the open workouts yesterday, but him coming down the elevator is just like it's like a movie the way he shows up. And this is from his point of view, him in the elevator. Like, look at this crowd waiting for him just at a mall in Brazil. It's just like absolute madness anytime this guy shows up.
Yeah.
Do we have the angle of him down low? Like from down low of him coming down? Yeah. Just like, I mean, look at this dude aura farming out here. Like, he's just like standing in the glass elevator.
The crowd chanting his
crowd going absolutely bananas for him. Like, this place is going to be a sellout. It's going to be wild.
Okay.
We got the chants going. Like, the dude is beloved in Brazil.
Let me put this into perspective.
Beloved worldwide, man.
Let me put this into a bit of perspective for you, actually.
Shout out to Full Violence.
I covered UFC 237 in Rio for ESPN. Yeah. So I was in that mall where they do this open workout. They tend to do it in this location.
Okay.
You saw in the video there, bottom floor packed out, top floor packed out. UFC 237, for context, it was headlined by Rose Namajunas versus Jessica Andrade, which Jessica Andrade ends up like pile driving her and getting the title. But also on that card, Anderson Silva and the king of Rio, Jose Aldo.
Wow.
Also on that card, ends up losing to Alexander Volkanovski on that card. And Cannonier beat Anderson Silva. So rough night for those Brazilians until Jessica Andrade is able to get it done. The top level was not packed out for that. And that is the king of Rio. So the aura, the level of attention that Charles Oliveira brings is just, you know, one of the top Brazilian fighters that we've seen in terms of how dedicated his fan base is, how rabid it is, how his star power has grown from when he was a 500 fighter and people were talking about this guy's a quitter and just had no respect for his game. He has ascended to a level that I don't think many foresaw for him. I definitely did not. I picked against him in every single one of those early title fights until he continued to prove me wrong. But yeah, to see where Charles Oliveira has come and to see that reception for him in Rio is incredible.
I mean, truly one of, like, got to be top 3 biggest Brazilian stars ever.
Yeah, one of them.
Like, I think you could make a case for other people, but like, dude, his
well, there's
star
the
power is
Silvas,
unreal.
the Shoguns, the Vanderleys, the Vitors, the Aldos. There's a long lineage. There's a ton of them
For sure.
But like the connection with the fan base that Charles Oliveira has is very unique and very rare.
And the global
Yeah.
connection that he has, despite only speaking Portuguese, it truly is incredible, man.
Yeah, him and Alex, like they have this thing that translates without having to really speak English.
Another Brazilian, I guess Alex Pereira would also have to be
100%.
included in that. Another former Brazilian champion that will be fighting on this card, co-main event, Davison Figueiredo taking on Montel Jackson. We started the show with Malcolm Wellmaker, official boy in the back. Montel Jackson, also an official boy in the back. We're going into the Lions' Den, baby. We're trying to pull out a dub on the enemy soil. He's a huge favorite in this one. He's on a nice winning streak. Davison Figueiredo has sort of started to struggle at bantamweight, obviously taking on top of the top. This feels like a jump in competition for Montel Jackson, but it's a massive opportunity to go into Brazil, face a former champion in Davison Figueiredo, and jump into like the top 7 at bantamweight.
I don't like this style matchup for Davison Figueiredo. This is going to be a striking affair likely, and Montel Jackson is just too powerful. Like, I just don't like the chances for Davison Figueiredo to stand with Montel Jackson. Now, if it becomes grappling, if there's some dirty clinching, if there's some like dirty boxing, there's some clinching against the cage, there's some ways that Davison Figueiredo can make this like a little bit of a more messy fight, I think he's going to have some success and find ways to frustrate Montel. But if this just becomes throwing 1-2s in the middle of the ring, in the middle of the cage, rather, I don't like many people at bantamweight to be able to stand with Montel Jackson. Unfortunately, I think in the last fight he broke that knockdown streak, right? Like he was on something like 7 or 8 or 5 or 6 in a row or something in terms of knockdowns. And then against Daniel Marcos, I don't think he got one.
No knockdown against Daniel Marcos. Had one against Damon Blackshear, one against Ronnie Yaya, one against Julio Arce, 4 against JP Bays, 2 against Jesse Strader, 1 against Brett Johns, 1 against Felipe Corral.
So what was that, 7? How many in a row?
Yeah, 7 straight fights.
Yeah, so that unfortunately came to an end, but the power is ridiculous for Montel Jackson.
Power, the speed, it's insane.
Speed.
The only thing that does concern me is he is on a 6-fight winning streak, but the win streak is Jesse Strader, JP Bays, Julio Arce, Ronnie Yaya, Damon Blackshear, Daniel Marcos. So like Davison Figueiredo is of a different echelon than those guys, but also the age of Davison Figueiredo, the size difference here. Montel Jackson's going to be 5 inches taller, 8 inches of reach on this guy. So like the size, the speed, the power, there are a lot of advantages that I like here for Montel Jackson. If he can continue to succeed at this level of competition, then I think he's a real threat at bantamweight.
Yeah, I mean, his wins at bantamweight are good names, right? Like when you look at Figueiredo's wins at bantamweight, it's Rob Font, Cody Garbrandt, Marlon Vera. But the only one in this group that like really has that like concussive knockout power is Cody Garbrandt, and he wrestled him and submitted him, right? Like that is the path to victory, I think. So if Figueiredo can employ a similar game plan that he did against Cody Garbrandt, I think he can potentially have some success. I think that would be a clean path to victory. If he wants to stand and trade, I don't like the way that goes. I think Montel Jackson, as you said, is too fast, too powerful, and just his confidence has to be at an all-time high where the guys that are getting in there with him, they just can't really keep up.
Yeah, I mean, 6 straight wins for him, 9 of his last 10 as well, dating back to 2018. So, I mean, this guy has few and far between come up short in the octagon. I think he continues on Saturday night. I think he gets it done against Davison Figueiredo, gets a massive win, and then at that point, man, you're in that upper echelon of the division. You're getting massive names at that point. Like there's nowhere to hide after you beat a guy like Davison Figueiredo if he's able to do so on Saturday night. The featured bout, the GC main event. Hey! Credit to y'all. I feel like I look more like Guram in that one. I look kind of badass. It feels like an AI mashup of me and Guram.
They clearly used that pick that you always side by sided where you look the most like
the OG
Guram.
pick, the very first picture I took when I shaved my head. Last March, man, it's been like a year and a half of the ball. Never been better. Vicente Luque taking on Joel Alvarez in Joel Alvarez's debut at 170. He's just too big, man. He's just too big to stay down at 155. He couldn't continue that. The weight cut just too brutal. He's just too gigantic of a man to remain down there. But I can't wait for this one. Joel Alvarez, every win coming by way of finish. I think it's 21 or 22. He'll knock you out. He'll submit you. It doesn't matter. He gets it done via finish. Going against a guy in Vicente Luque who, very tough dude, great name, has had an incredible career. More on the back end of the careers where he's at right now. Has also been finished in 3 straight losses. I don't love his chances against Joel Alvarez here.
Joel Alvarez is Vicente Luque of 10 years ago. That's exactly who he is. This is the run. So, Ultimate Fighter finale, loss versus Vicente Luque. Then, I'll read you the opponents. Alvaro Herrera, Darce choke. Hector Urbina, knockout via punches. Bilal Muhammad, knockout via punches. Lost by decision to Leon Edwards. Nico Price, submission. Chad LaPriest, knockout via punches. Jalen Turner, knockout via punches. Brian Barberina, knockout via knees and punches. Derek Krantz, knockout via punches. Then we get to a Mike Perry split. Then he loses to Stephen Thompson. This is where it starts to get, a little bit toward the Vicente Luque that we're seeing now. But he was that guy. He was the submission knockout threat that was just walking through everybody. And then you reach a certain level, and it becomes harder to do that. At the moment, I don't think Vicente Luque is that level, right? I don't think this is the level where Joel Alvarez is unable to kind of find that finish. It just feels like Vicente Luque's best time was 10 years ago when he was the version of Joel Alvarez and he was getting it done. And now it's Joel Alvarez's time. He's massive. He's athletic. He's fast. He's powerful. There's nothing offensively that concerns me about Joel Alvarez. Certainly, the defensive wrestling is where you're going to have your best success against Joel because that prevents him from having his game, right? When you're wrestling him, that prevents him from doing these explosive things that he's able to do. But if you're in space with him, it is constant threat. There is not a safe moment. As you said, what is it, like 21 out of 22 are finishes?
No, all 22.
All 22. Yeah, you're pretty much cooked if you're in space with Joel Alvarez. So you need to be stuck to him or have him on his back. If not, it's going to be trouble. And so I think there's just going to be too many opportunities where they're in space.
Also, not for nothing, man. 22 wins, 3 losses. One, obviously, as he was getting his career started, and then he made his UFC debut against Demiraz Magulov. Oh, real ballers,
He's
ball
a good
knowers
fighter,
know. A tremendous fighter from Kazakhstan, and Arman Sarukian.
Yeah, 2 pretty good guys.
Yeah, 2 pretty good guys that he's lost to. Now he's making his way up. 6'3", just a little too large for 155 for Joel Alvarez. Now he makes his debut at 170. He's not going back to 155 either. So very, very intrigued to see what he can keep doing. If he can keep the finish streak up, and if he can put a stamp on this welterweight debut. Very proper featured bout for this card. I think it's going to be great, especially when you have a guy with ties to Brazil and Vicente Luque. If he's able to get the massive upset.
Oh, God. If he gets the upset, it will be sick.
I keep seeing the line growing. Minus 650 for Joel Alvarez.
It makes sense. Like, as I said, this feels like Luque is facing himself from 10 years ago. Like, you're going to pick the young version. You're going to pick the guy who's entering his prime or already in his prime. So it's just a tough matchup for him.
All right, so now we can sort of get into that different sector of the card.
Yeah.
16 of 20.
There's a line. There's a line.
16 of 26 fighters are coming off a loss on this card.
Yeah.
And we move to Jonathan Diniz versus the undefeated Mario Pinto. Brazilian versus Portuguese in this one.
I like Deniz, man. Like, it's a man. This division.
To take the L?
Yeah, I mean, I think people are not aware of like how good or respectable a kickboxing career Deniz had. Like, he's not like he faced some high level guys. Like, he was in glory at the same time as Israel Adesanya and Alex Pereira and some of these others. So I'm familiar with him from the kickboxing days. Like, he wasn't nearly as of an attraction as those guys, but he was a commendable kickboxer. And so yeah, I just lean. I think he's underrated in the UFC in my opinion. And this is the division that needs guys desperately, like just anybody to have any kind of success.
Anyone who can get finishes as well, though I think this one is actually favored to go to a decision, or maybe I'm thinking of another. There's a couple of heavyweight fights on this card, but yeah, we'll see what happens in that one. And you have another Brazilian in Ricardo Ramos taking on Con Ofli, 145-pound matchup. How do you feel about this one?
I don't. How do you feel about it?
We're 5 fights down, and you already don't feel about it.
I know that. Look, this.
It's tough.
Yeah, this should be a win for Ricardo Ramos, but I don't know.
He's lost 3 of his last 4.
Yeah, but now he's facing the appropriate,
who's 0-2 in the UFC.
The appropriate level of competition. To me, this feels like a get back on track for Ramos, but I don't have a great read. Do you?
No, of course I don't. I mean, it's Ricardo Ramos versus Con Ofli. I'm not going to sit here and fake it, okay? I'm very much looking forward to the top 3 fights on this card, and then I'm going to watch the rest and, sort of take it in. How about Lucas Almeida versus the Texas kid, Michael Aswell?
Yeah, now...
Lucas Almeida also lost 3 of his last 4.
Yeah, see, man, we are in tough sledding here.
We are in tough sledding, but I'm not faulting the UFC for it.
Why not?
Because Charles Oliveira is on the card, and they're just stacking with Brazilians after Charles Oliveira.
I know, but like...
I mean, there's no one else to fault other than the UFC, but it's not like I'm sitting here pissed about it. I'm not wallowing in it.
Okay, yeah.
Aswell
in his last one lost.
Well, he lost on Contender Series, and then he got a contract and lost in his debut against Balaji Oki.
What am I supposed to break down here at this point?
We just gotta wait and see. Building stars over here. Jafel Filo versus Clayton Carpenter.
Okay, at least interesting here. Return of Clayton Carpenter. I'm interested to see how that goes.
Return of Jafel Filo. I enjoy Jafel Filo fights.
Yeah, last Carpenter fight lost to Ulanbekov, which, as we know, is that is an extremely respectable fighter and a loss. I'm interested to see now. Okay, now we've got some intrigue.
All right, let's keep it going. LFA legend Thomas Peterson taking on Vitor Petrino.
Now the intrigue is lost. I'm not.
Beatriz Mosquito?
No. Let's go back for a second. Where are you on Vitor Petrino?
Sometimes he bombs people into the 18th row, and sometimes he has the most boring, horrible performances you could watch.
I was thinking the same thing. Is he the number? Like, is he a top 5 looks good getting off the bus guy? Like, he looks like he's about to kill somebody. He looks like he's about to kill somebody, and then it's always not that. But then you look at the results, and it's like knockout, choke.
Well, the Bukakis win is aging nicely.
Yeah, Modestus is on a nice run right now. Even like Marcin Prachnio, that's a decent win. The losses to Jacoby and Smith, like I just think that's probably a level above. Austin Lane, I don't make much of that one, but yeah, I don't know. I've always been underwhelmed by Petrino, but then at the same time intrigued by his potential. But I feel like it's just the getting off the bus thing. I'm like, I look at the guy and I'm like, yeah, he's real good. He's gonna be real good, and then it's always underwhelming. I maybe this can be a showcase.
Speaking of looking good getting off the bus, Johnny Walker versus Kamaru Usman. Oh, I'm sorry.
What?
Walter Walker versus Mohammed Usman.
That's getting off the bus, but then the Spider-Man meme where you wipe your glasses and it's the other brothers.
Kamaru Usman moving up to 205 to take on Johnny Walker. Now, Walter Walker versus Mohammed Usman. Walter Walker going for a 4th straight heel hook, though he said in interviews this week he's going to go for the knockout.
Why? I don't know. Why would you do that?
Mohammed Usman is likely going to wrestle him and get into a situation where he could get a 4th straight heel hook.
Yeah.
That would have to be a record. I feel like 3 has to be a record, all in the first round, too.
I think Walter Walker is better everywhere. Is that fair to say? Like, I just think he's a better grappler. He's a better striker. I don't know how Mohammed Usman wins this.
Yeah, wrestling. Just like laying
even wrestling, is he good?
And Mohammed Usman looks so terrifying, but he just doesn't get any finishes at the UFC level.
He is
6 UFC fights, 5 decisions.
He's slow. He's very slow. It just like he doesn't have that like insane explosive knockout power, and he just looks like he's in quicksand at all times. And I don't think that's a recipe for success against Walter Walker. Like I lean pretty heavily.
Goal. Like pretty big performance back in June against Hamdi.
Was it?
Thomas Peterson?
Yeah.
Nick Barkin? I was like, earlier I was like, man, if Alex Pereira leaves 205, it's going to leave 205 in disarray. It's like, heavyweight needs Alex Pereira because heavyweight is in fucking disarray, man.
No, we're gonna get the Janata Denise win. We're gonna get the Walter Walker win, and we're gonna start the era. You know,
Vito Petrino, Thomas Peterson is also heavyweight.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, we'll get the Petrino. I forgot. Yeah, I stylistically, I think this is a huge advantage for Walter Walker. Like as you said, even in the wrestling, if it hits the mat, the guy's been hunting for leg locks. I don't know how this goes his way. Cut to this is the TikTok edit where they like I'm like he can't win. Then they
as
cut
you're
to
saying it's just like and it's like Mo Usman's face all pissed off, and it's just like it's a great stylistic matchup. And it's over and right.
Walter Walker's unconscious on the floor. But yes, I favor Walker in a big way.
Legend of the game. Polish MMA.
Ah, yes.
Maybe the second most famous women's Polish mixed martial artist of all time. Karolina Kowalkiewicz taking on Julia Polastri.
Second?
Joanna?
What about Jan?
I said women's.
Oh, women, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh boy, disrespectful to Jan there. I wasn't listening. My bad. Yeah. This feels like it's too long in the tooth for Karolina at this point.
She's plus 400.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about this other than I don't think this is the time for Karolina right now. Like the best days are behind.
Had that 4-fight win streak a couple years back.
That was years back now, though. That's the problem.
Since lost to Yasmin Lucendo and Denise Gomes. Now she gets Polastri.
Yeah, that was that was 2023. That October of 2023. So that was over 2 years ago now. That was 2 years ago yesterday. How old is Karolina? Karolina is 39. I just don't favor her in this one. I favor the youth.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the same. Overall, top 3 fights are fantastic on this card. I'm very much looking forward to it. Prelims could still be fun. I will be tuned in. I will be watching. We'll see if Brazilians can get rolling. I'm interested. This is the UFC debut for Bia, right? Yeah. This is the UFC debut. I'm interested to see how the jiu-jitsu game translates for her. Irina's not bad though. Like against Russian Ronda? Yeah. Like Irina is the type of opponent that I could actually see the jiu-jitsu heavy game being hard against, like the sambo background, and like I'm interested to see what Bia is going to be able to do. If like the jiu-jitsu game is flowing and all of a sudden she looks great, I think this is a good momentum builder. Like now you've got somebody you could kind of get behind. But man, Irina is actually like a tough debut, in my opinion. 1 and 2 in the UFC now. Has lost her last 2. Wilson Mullins wasn't great. Again, the sambo is also her debut, of course, and the UFC jitters. Who knows how that happens? Yeah, I mean, shout out to Buchecha, bro. After the Buchecha, I'm a little gun shy on the jiu-jitsu players, man. I gotta say, it's been like 2.5 months since that. Feels like yesterday. RIP. All right, that is UFC Brazil. Those top 3 fights are incredible. Main card's pretty good. And then on to the prelims. Looking forward to that one. We'll be right back with Parlay Pals, bets, voicemails, pound for pound, all of that. We're just getting started here. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
At any point, does it get overwhelming? Does it get to be too much? This is all about your life and your journey.
From the very, very, very beginning, the thing that Dwayne had promised me, he said, this is important to everybody that's involved. Like he says, it's changed his life. It's changed his life for a lot of different reasons. Everybody involved needed this film to come along when they needed to come along for a bunch of different reasons, including myself.
UCLA isn't just a bad Big Ten team. They're a bad team, period. Last week, I was annoyed by the rap that Penn State was getting. But like, if you were somebody who took what I would have considered a premature punch at James Franklin's chin last week, swing away now, man. Yeah. Like, this is inexcusable. No,
meanwhile, Tim Skipper and Jerry Neuheisel, very happy for those guys, because after they lost Northwestern, it did not look like they were going to win a single game all season. And now you wonder.
I know Mike Brown pretty well from when he was in the Bay. How you feeling about this new addition to the squad?
I didn't even want to talk basketball with him. I just wanted to be able to understand where he's at in life.
You just made some time to connect once you got the job and was like, let's not even talk hoop right now.
Literally, the first thing I told him was, "Night, we don't got to talk no hoops. I just want to get to know you, your family, understand each other as people, and, let's start off with a good foundation."
I commit the crime of picking Florida to win the game. I was called a Texas hater, I think every hour on the hour, out of pocket. I got a clickbait pate dropped on me again. You can't just disagree with someone. You can't have a difference of opinion anymore. I was called a Texags bootlicker, and these people didn't show up today for, again, my crime of accurately predicting a Texas loss. How did no one else see this?
All right, we are back. I have to own up to my crimes. I have to atone for my sins. Last week on the Parlay Pals, was going to pick Yuri. I was like, yep, Yuri's it. And I was like, you know what? Everybody, put him in the mud, put him through the ringer. He's going to bounce back. He's going to get a dub. And I switched my pick from Yuri Prohashka to Patchy Nix. And that cost us. That turned a winner into a loser. And for that, I have to just say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to the Parlay Pals. I put us from the green back into the red. My actions caused that. From switching from Yuri to Patchy.
It's tough.
We went from a winner to a loser.
It'd be nice for Pizza to come on and actually, give it to you for once. Here.
I know.
We're a loser.
I'm the first time, I caused it. Pizza's caused it like 17 times.
I never have.
Frank did it.
No, I heard it. He's just used the bit so many times. Now it's not Yuri Fight Week anymore. It's a bit of a sensitive subject, so I mean, how much going to get into it?
I do show this to Yuri. Selling his whole gimmick,
and he's going to be like,
"Who is this influencer?
I want him to show more emotion. Why is he so flat and calm in front of the camera?"
Can we talk about that for 1 second, though? I think it was actually he was flattered. Like, I don't. Do you really feel like you just no-sold it? He's like, I'm not interested in this. I think he's the kind of guy that's like, that is pretty cool. He's just not going to admit to it.
No, I think he probably would have said, I think that's pretty cool. Thanks, man. Appreciate you showing me that.
I feel like Frank's ability to read the room in that scenario is not...
I think he was like, I think in no uncertain terms, he was like, fuck this clown. Why the fuck are you showing me this, bro? I'm sitting in a gas station with flies flying around me, man. When he did the look away, I showed it to my mom, and my mom shed a single tear when he did the look away.
Well, we took the full
She was
screen,
like,
and then he actually was showing his watch.
Son.
Like, are we out of time here? Like, what's going on?
She was like,
wait, so
my only son.
You saw that, and why did you interpret
Well,
it
I just now
as
put
respect?
two and two together that maybe he was like, can we speed this up? I've got to go.
Yeah, that's exactly what he was doing. Ask me anything. Ask me about the shit that I took this morning. Don't show me this shit. All right, I actually have to say, getting flack for the emotion shown, I am not the only one that showed any emotion. I dropped the video in. Dana Black MMA on IG.
Dana Black
MMA on IG. He was at Buffalo Wild Wings, and this was his reaction.
Yo, I just got kicked out of Buffalo Wild Wings because Yuri Prohashka's the fucking GOAT! He's the fucking GOAT!
Shirt ripped.
Fucking GOAT! Don't you ever fucking count him out!
Spit
Don't you ever
flying.
fucking count him out! That's my fucking GOAT! That's my fucking GOAT!
Beating the chest.
Count him out! Feed him fucking Magomed right now!
Mogadishu instead of Magomed. You hear him get a little choked up there. He's a little choked up.
That's what the fuck I'm talking about! I got kicked out of that bitch! I don't even fucking care!
I just wish we had a picture-in-picture of Yuri just completely no-selling his response to that. He's just sitting there.
Shout out to Buffalo Wild Wings. Shout out to Dana Black. When he says the feed him Magomed, you hear him get a bit choked up.
Feed him Mogadishu.
Yeah, the captions. Mogadishu. Shout out. I also saw some other people's reactions going just as crazy as me, and I also got backed up by a lot of people online. Shout out to them being like, I was going even crazier than you.
Yeah, we don't have to defend. Like,
there's no defense.
There's no defense required for that. It's okay to celebrate.
The rip shirt is incredible. Also, I'm not going anywhere. I might be even more of a Yuri fan now. I might be. We've gone from D1 to professional. We're now Hall of Fame.
What level is Dana Black? Is he professional?
I don't know. I want to talk to Dana Black. Did he have money on that? Like, is he really just a Yuri fan? Like,
ripped shirt kicked out of Buffalo Wild Wings.
I also want to know, did he rip his own shirt, or was it a struggle to get him out of the Buffalo Wild Wings, and that's when the shirt got ripped?
Yeah, did he Hulk Hogan it, or in the "Sir, you must leave" was his shirt torn?
I think that's the one.
I also want to know if he's that hype and that happy when Yuri won, how pissed was he for the first 2 rounds?
Somebody needs to get a hold of Dana Black, and we need to.
He's like,
out.
I mean, he's got like 60K followers on IG, so like he's well known.
Shout out Dana Black.
Shout out
the original Dana Black, obviously Anderson Silva.
Shout out to Yuri, legend.
Shout out to Yuri.
So yeah, I wasn't the only one going crazy. There's real love out here in these streets for Yuri. Yuri just needs to recognize it. All right, I've already gotten Pete's pick for this weekend. I believe he took. Who did he take? He told us in the group chat. Vitor Petrino. Vitor Petrino, the heavyweight legend, Vitor Petrino.
Our boy.
Frankie, why don't you kick us off? I'll go second. Rick, you go third, man.
Parlay Pals.
That is a great idea. And that is why I'm going to go with Montel Jackson.
No.
Hey, shout out. I mean, that's an easy pick. Shout out to our boy Montel Jackson.
Love it.
Did you know his middle name is Samuel?
Is it actually?
It actually is.
So he's Samuel Jackson.
Those are your words. But yes, he's Montel Samuel Jackson.
That's a real thing.
I promise you. I looked it up because I wanted to see if he had a nickname. I was going to do a whole thing.
He does. Quick. And on Instagram, he's what? Montello, right?
Montello? Quick is his nickname. I thought you were going to say Quick.
No, Quick is his nickname.
Okay.
I mean, we asked
This
him
is
about
how
it.
you usually executive produce. You're like, Quick.
Quick, do it.
Die.
His name on IG is Montel Quick Jackson.
There you go.
Yo soy rápido.
Nice.
All right. I'm going with the boy Joel Alvarez making his debut at welterweight.
I feel like this is very like we're picking our guys here. I'm going to stick with the superior Walker brother and go with Walter Walker.
Picking our guys here. And you took Walter Walker.
Oh, I'm a big fan of our
and
boy.
also Pete's guy is now Vitor Petrino. There we are in the red. Ay. We got to get it back this week, boys.
I was so confident last week.
Dude, why did I take Patchy?
Yeah, until you switched to your.
I'm a fucking casual. Raven never would have taken Patchy Mix.
I mean, Patchy. Yeah.
Shout out. All right, let me run through my bets real quick before we get to pound for pound. Got a few this week. Usman Walker under 2.5. I like this price on a heavyweight fight where Walker has gotten a finish in his last 3 fights. I know Usman has been to a ton of decisions, but I like Walker to push the pace in this one, take the fight where he wants to go. And I don't think we get a knockout. I think we get another sub in this one. So shout out. Heavyweight under 2.5 minus 135. I had to take it. Next up. Jafel Filo as a dog against Clayton Carpenter. I like the aggression. I like the finishing capability. And the Brazilian in his home country. We'll go with Filo. And then last but not least, the main event. I'm not taking a side. I'm taking the under 3.5. You're giving me an under 3.5. I know he's fighting Gamrot. On a Charles Oliveira fight, I know we just saw him go 5 rounds with Michael Chandler. But throughout the course of his career, Charles Oliveira has been an agent of chaos. I like the potential of him getting the back in the scrambles. I like the potential of him hurting Gamrot on the feet. And then on the flip side of that, he is coming back quickly after a knockout. Gamrot potentially gets a finish there as well. Under 3.5 in that one. Parlays. I'm going heavy on this one. Multi-week parlay. My guy Joel Alvarez with my boy Tommy Aspinall. I will be adding to Tom before that as well, even if this one gets through. Next up, Denise Pinto over 1.5. Joel Alvarez inside the distance. Montel Jackson parlay. That one pays plus 174. And then last but not least, yeah, I mean you got to do it if you're gonna go to Rio. Finally jumping on board now that they went to Mexico. Every Mexican fighter won. They went to Australia. Every Australian fighter won except for Jake Matthews. They went to
and Jake Matthews actually won.
Yeah, and he actually won. They went to Paris. Every French fighter won. And it's just like, oh man, I'm cashing all these parlays. GC, look, I'm cashing all these parlays. Now I'm gonna jump on board. I'm only gonna take the favorites. Someone's gonna blow it. Plus 574 on this one though. Shout out to the Brazilian favorites. UFC Rio. Those are the picks. We'll see what happens.
I like him.
Let's go to the pound for pound rankings, which actually stems from the main eventer, Charles Oliveira. Though he tried to thwart us, he tried to screw over our game plan.
He did.
Because in honor of Charles, do Bronx, drop the do, leave the Bronx, Oliveira Charles Du Bronx Oliveira, take it out. Bronx, borough of New York City.
Fucking hell.
We have to rank the 5 boroughs. In
Top
New York
5
City.
boroughs in New
Top
York
5 boroughs in New York City. The reason I say he thwarted it, he is now the predator.
Yeah, apparently.
No apparent. He posted these graphics. In the hunt for the strongest, there is only room for a predator. So as of now, it's Charles the Predator. Kind of crazy. Here and in the octagon, a fighter who, like me, faces any challenge head on, always ready for whatever comes next. Only this time, the mission is to confront the greatest of enemies and restore the respect of a people. This feels like the beginning of like a movie.
What the fuck is that?
Predator. Wait. Predator Wild Lands, November 6th in theaters, 20th Century Studios. I'm not going to lie, this is my first time seeing that. Is he doing this in association with a movie?
Yes. But the question is,
what?
Is the movie called Predator?
The question is,
I can't lie to you guys. I never saw his post about it. I only saw like the graphics, and I saw that he changed his Instagram name to The Predator. This is all for a movie? Holy shit.
Is Bruce Buffer going to announce him as the Predator?
Oh, that's the real
This
question.
is truly the moment I
is?
have been waiting for.
I will actually be waiting
It
for
is
that
the moment I
with
am
as much
waiting for.
intrigue as I was going to find out whether or not it was the one, the only Alex Poetan Pereira. Now is it going to be Charles the Predator Oliveira? I didn't see the end of that post until that was real time me discovering that this was for 20th Century Studios.
What is Francis thinking right now?
I know.
Also, there's been more than just Francis, right?
Yeah. Don Fry.
Don Fry
as well.
was the Predator.
There's been a few, but Don Fry was the Predator.
Wow, this is all for a movie. That's fucking insane.
If he really like to change your Instagram name, and if he actually, and he says like in the octagon, if he changes his name on Saturday, that will be wild promo.
Okay, so he didn't change his actual handle. It's still Charles.
No,
Du
no, not
Bronx.
the handle, but the name.
Charles Predator and the actual thing. Wow, that is that is insane. No, the top comment. No, Charles, don't call yourself that, please.
Does that change the fight? You want to line it differently now? Like,
no, but that's crazy. That's crazy. Frank, before the show when we were talking about this and you were just like, oh yeah, isn't there a new movie coming out? I was like, I don't fucking know. Is there? I was like, is there even a Predator movie? And you're like, are you fucking serious? You haven't seen Predator? Wow. This reminds you, always read the caption. I just saw the aggregated post that he had changed the name.
Yeah, we're going to have to see.
Always
Saturday
go to
is the moment of truth on this one.
That will be absolutely incredible.
Actually, no.
20th Century better pay up if Bruce Buffer announces it.
Because his arena, like he'll be walking into the arena, and I imagine the UFC graphics will say whatever the nickname is. So now we might find out when he comes in to the arena.
Oh, that's going to be crazy. All right, Frankie, what's the order?
The order is Eric, Connor, Frank.
Okay. I wasn't expecting to go first, but I'm happy to oblige.
Cross in the chat says, how is this the first time learning that it's only because of sponsorship? I don't know, maybe because it happened 2 days ago and I didn't read his Instagram post?
Wait, did it happen 2 days ago?
Yeah, I mean, it happened.
I thought it happened like today. I thought it happened like this morning or
happened
something.
1 day ago. That's how I didn't know, Cross.
Also, all the aggregators like aren't saying like it's a partnership with blah blah.
Yes,
blah.
it's
They're
just saying
like,
that he changed the nickname.
Okay. This one's near and dear to my heart, obviously, as a born and bred New Yorker. This list means a lot to me. This is respectfully to both of your lists, this is the definitive list. I will say that right off the
Queen's number 1.
We're not there yet. We're at number 5. But let me just say definitively this is the list. Number 5, we're starting with Staten Island. Staten Island.
The disrespect.
As
the real island.
Hold on. It is an actual island.
On Staten Island, in Staten Island.
I don't think they say the on.
Look at that. Look at that foliage, man. It's a beautiful spot.
As a born and raised New Yorker, I have not spent any time in Staten Island. I have passed through on the Verrazano Bridge in order to go to other parts of this country.
That's the name of the bridge, huh?
Yes. And I have not spent time in Staten Island. But
Great Alamo Draft House in Staten Island.
I am a subscribed member to the Staten Island Zoo, and so I will be taking a trip there sometime this fall to take my
Subscribed member and you've never been?
just this year. Now, the reason I became a member of the Staten Island Zoo is because there are zoos around the country that have reciprocation. Meaning, if I have a membership to the Staten Island Zoo, I get 50% off or even 100% off at other zoos. And during my trip to the Midwest, we went to multiple zoos. that then monetarily benefited me greatly. Thank you to the Staten Island Zoo for that.
Are you like a couponer?
And my wife is a little bit. My wife is actually a little bit.
Respect it.
But I will be going to the Staten Island Zoo with my daughter, who I think will have a fantastic time. Shout out to Staten Island. Let me say also definitively and for the record, I have all 5 of these locations plus Long Island ahead of everywhere else in the entire universe. There is not a place in this galaxy, there is not a place in this universe that is above New York or these 5 boroughs plus Long Island. So while I have Staten Island 5th, it's 5 boroughs, Long Island, and then everybody else 10 billion light years away. Bottom. They might as well not even exist. It's New York versus the world. Fuck everybody else. Yeah, they suck.
Is Long Island the 6th borough or is Newark?
No, New Jersey is not.
I need clarity
on
that.
New Jersey is not.
I've been told Newark is the 6th
No, have you been told that by anybody from New York? Who's a New Yorker?
Yeah.
Born in New York.
Most people born in New York recognize it as the 6th borough.
I'm going to question their New York
refuted that, and then they were like, no, it's the 6th borough.
No, Long Island is actual New York.
And Bayonne is the 7th borough.
And New Jersey is not New
Just
York.
making sure. 5 boroughs.
Secaucus is
5 boroughs, Long
and
Island.
Then like Mecca.
No, Long Island.
Uh-huh.
And then everywhere else.
Okay.
And they're light years behind. They are not even in the conversation.
But,
it's New York.
I guess we'll have to see where, the other parts of Long Island, Queens and Brooklyn, where Queens and Brooklyn go on your list because,
5 boroughs.
In Staten Island, on Staten Island.
You know what?
sure.
Pipe down,
On
Long
Staten
Islander.
Island?
Pipe down.
Well, there
pipe
is
down.
no
This is a
subway in
convo for
Staten
the New
Island,
Yorkers.
right? So
There is actually. There's the Staten Island shuttle.
Does anyone use
And
it?
it's
There's
just
a ferry.
It's just
There's a
one
ferry.
line. There's a ferry that crashed one time.
Actually, Spider-Man saved that ferry.
No. There was a real Staten Island ferry crash. And it
Why
was
did
horrific.
All right, moving on to my number 4. Number 4. As I said, this is not a disrespect to anybody. If you are on this list, you are a New Yorker, and
We're
I
in the
love you
list.
dearly. The Bronx. Number 4 is the Bronx. Don't have anything bad to say about the Bronx. Affordable living. You can live inside New York City affordably. Fantastic zoo. You want to talk about zoos? The Bronx Zoo is one of the best zoos in the entire world.
What do we need 2 zoos for?
Yeah, is this your pound for pound zoo list?
Zoos are great. You guys don't love zoos?
I'm not going to say anything wrong with zoos.
The Bronx.
It's just like,
have you
this
ever
is
been to
what
the
you're
Bronx Zoo?
ranking.
Yeah, no.
No.
They won't let me.
Bronx
there.
Zoo. Bronx Zoo.
Not
Fantastic zoo.
associated.
Top zoo. Great zoo.
Madagascar.
Amazing zoo. Yankee Stadium, obviously,
Oh, yeah, shout
historic landmark. One of the best high schools in the nation. What's that you say? Oh, did I go there? Yes, I did go there. Because
Bronx High.
it's called Bronx High School of Science. Actually,
It
is one of the top high schools in the nation, and
Do you guys have a zoo there?
NY Botanical Garden?
Up there there is a Bronx Botanical Garden, and up there's the Bronx Zoo. Birthplace of hip hop and salsa.
Sure.
The Bronx. So
The food or the dance?
Salsa, the dance. So a fantastic place. This is also a place where I'm going to take an opportunity to make an announcement. 2 weeks ago on this show, a caller on the voicemails asked me, I'm going to solo here for a second. A caller on the voicemails asked me who I would fight. And I made the unfortunate move of saying my friend Vishal. I now retract that statement. I love my friend Vishal. I would never fight him. And in fact, he's a beautiful, handsome, intelligent, smart man who was right about Steph Curry, Pat Mahomes, Joel Embiid, Paul George, Cade Cunningham, Aaron Judge, Shohei Ohtani, and everything else. He's brilliant, and I love him dearly, and I would never fight him. And also, he's the co-owner of a brilliant protein ice cream named Sweet Gains. Shout out to you, Vishal. I love you dearly. Yeah, Sweet Gains is kind of sick. I'll get you some. But that's it for the Bronx. They've got Vishal, so they're good in my book. Okay, number 3. This was where it got tough. The top 3 is very tough for me, I must admit. But I had to do this. There were some tough calls that needed to be made, and I had to do it. Number 3, Manhattan. Number 3 is Manhattan.
Wow.
This is where the action is. I can't deny.
This is a take. Yeah.
When you're a New Yorker, when you're the Central Park Zoo is kind of mid, if we're being honest.
It's in the middle of the list.
Bronx Zoo, even Queens Zoo, kind of crush it. Haven't been to Staten Island yet, but I'll be able to weigh in on that after the fact.
Also has a zoo.
Fantastic zoo
fucking
in the
zoos
middle
are
of
around
Flushing Meadows Park, where they have the Unisphere, where the World Fair was. I'll talk more about
4
that later.
zoos around here.
You'll find out. I mean, it's New York City.
Zoo York. Come on.
This is when New Yorkers say, and I want Jordan's confirmation on this. When you're a New Yorker and you say I'm going to the city, you're going to Manhattan,
right?
Even though we are
when
all
you
in
live
the
on
city
Long
of
Island.
New York.
Yeah, that's what you say.
Jordan, confirm, right? We call this the city, yes?
It's the city. Even
It's the
when we
city.
lived in Connecticut, I'd be like, "Oh, I'm going to the city," and then people were like, "You're going to Boston?" I'm like, "What's
No.
wrong with you?"
Yeah.
That is not a
These
city.
people don't know. These people from Boston.
What is a city?
Yes,
Manhattan.
but it's not the city. The city is Manhattan. It is the center of business. It is Wall Street. It is the capital. It is the center of the universe. But
These are the 5 boroughs of what again?
New York City.
Okay.
Yes, but the city is Manhattan. It's the heartbeat. It's where here's where it's docked for me. Here's why I have it number 3 as opposed to number 2 or number 1. As a New Yorker, it's a place you want to visit rather than a place you want to live. The city is expensive, is hard to commute around. The driving is impossible. The space is extremely limited unless you are living like the top 1 of the 1%. It's a very difficult place to kind of navigate a life, especially with a family. You have to kind of go to the outer boroughs. Fantastic place. Visit it. Come here. Spend all your money. But Manhattan is number
Easy
3.
to do.
Behind number 2, and this was also a tough cut. This was tough. I had to make some decisions here.
It's tough.
But number 2 is Brooklyn. Fantastic place.
Shocker.
Has a little bit of everything, right? It has community. It has ability to reside, ability to live at a cheaper cost than living in the city, but also has so much commerce, so much business, so much life, so much energy, so much activity. We're here taking a look at Coney Island. It has beaches. There's so many places. It has beautiful brownstones to live in many parts of Brooklyn. There's all kinds of different neighborhoods that have their own vibe, that have their own cultures. It's fantastic. You've lived in Brooklyn. I've lived in Brooklyn. Many in the Frank lives in Brooklyn. Yes.
Yes, man.
I don't know if Jordan or Andy have lived in Brooklyn, but Brooklyn is fantastic. It's a great place to live. But what it is not is number 1, and that's the best borough, and that's Queens. Naturally, and as you predicted, it was Queens. It had to be Queens. The most ethnically diverse urban area in the entire world. A melting pot of sorts. When you talk about New York being the melting pot, you are actually talking about Queens, New York. You are actually talking about the place that every different culture and diverse ethnicity comes to live. It's the second largest and most diversified economy of the 5 boroughs of New York City, behind Manhattan in terms of the size of the economy. It's great for business. It's great for families. It has access to the 2 airports. It is the hub for travel, right? We've got LaGuardia, we've got JFK, both in Queens. It's superior. It is where all the various cultures come and meet. Queens is the best. I love Queens, and I look forward to every time I go back.
Well said, man.
Shout out to Queens. Who's next, Frankie?
That's you.
Number 5, the Bronx. Yankee Stadium, Zoo, Botanical Garden. Other than that, I'm probably not going up all the way to the Bronx, so shout out to it. Number 4, Rick's number 1, Queens. City Field, U.S. Open. But other than that, good restaurants. I'll give Queens good restaurants.
Food?
Yeah, the food's great. Food's great in Queens. Many a fight feast over in Astoria.
This is a disappointing ranking.
Shout out to Queens. Number 3, Staten Island, baby. Spacious, residential golf courses,
loves a parking
parks. I love a good parking lot. Alamo Draft House that I could just peel right into parking lot. Residential, spacious. Like I said, I enjoy Staten Island. Known as the world. Shout out. Got a Vince Vaughn movie based off of it. What's his name? Who's there?
Pete Davidson.
Pete Davidson. their biggest export. Shout out to Staten Island. Number 2. These are 1 and 2. It's just not even close. Number 2 is Brooklyn. Great bars, great restaurants, great parks, NBA team, Coney Island, community, a lot of shit to do. Diverse neighborhoods. Shout out to Brooklyn. And then number 1, it's not even close. It's Manhattan, man. The amount of shit that you can do in Manhattan. Go catch a Knicks game. Go to Central Park. Go see all the tourist attractions. You can go from neighborhood to neighborhood, and it's completely different than the one before it. You got Chinatown. You got the Lower East Side. You got the West Village. You got the Upper West Side, Upper East Side. You got Midtown with all its Times Square touristy bullshit. Manhattan clears far and away number 1.
I'm known for not having emotion. There is an actual pain in my chest from Staten Island being ranked I don't know, not yet. depending on how your list goes, but
Staten
Island above
nice
Queens,
neighborhoods, man.
this cannot be this cannot be justified.
Beautiful ferry to get over. You pass right by the Statue of Liberty.
The food, the culture.
Yeah, the food's pretty good in Queens. The food's
pretty good in Queens.
It's no lasagna soup.
It's really that Connor hates Long Island, and so Queens.
But then how did Brooklyn get so high?
Oh, Brooklyn's pretty nice, man.
Many a time Connor and I hung out in Brooklyn.
Not good.
Many a time we've hung out in Queens as well.
I'm hurt.
I always
And we were like, "Can we
How
get
much
back
you
to
hanging
Brooklyn?"
out in Staten Island?
I always cross over the. I don't go to Staten Island that often, but every time I do, I'm like, Staten Island gets a bad rap, man. Gets a bad rap.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
So with that being said, my number 5 is Staten Island. You mentioned taking the ferry across to look at the statue.
Did we have the same picture?
Oh wow, that's cool, man. Great minds. I went by it once and saw the statue, and then just took the ferry back. Had a beer on the way there and back. It was fun. I did get to hang out in Staten Island with Raekwon from Wu-Tang Clan.
Cool. Classic name drop, man.
Yeah, and in fact, that is my only fact to say about Staten Island. It's the only time I've actually been in or on the island, and I hope to keep it that way for the rest of my life. I want that to always be the thing. Like, Frank, you ever been to Staten Island? Yeah, hung out with Raekwon there once, and that's it. My number 4 is Queens.
Fuck out of here.
Every time I've gone to Queens, I've been told it's been gassed up.
All right, so we're just
going
to do the same pictures.
I'm on a train. Oh,
Flushing, Queens.
Did you use the same one that I did?
The heart of Asian culture in New York City.
I'm sorry.
minds, man.
Fuck Chinatown. Flushing, Queens.
The zoo is a little mid,
you haven't even been there. You're lying.
It takes me 3 hours to get there from Brooklyn.
No, we're neighbors. What are you talking about? Brooklyn and Queens are neighbors. You can get there in 10 to 15 minutes.
And
what, the G train?
My number 3,
driving,
the
but
G
yeah.
train. Ugh. It's so damp in there. I hate it. Used to work in Long Island City. I was like, fuck it, get me out of here. In fact, number 3 is Bronx, which I don't actually like. I've only been there maybe once or twice. But I could tell you I like it more than Queens.
You motherfuckers disparaging
Did you pick
Queens.
the same picture as Rick again?
For every single one. You have not been to Queens. That's what I'm realizing.
I was in Queens just last Sunday.
You guys talk about coming out to the Long Island state and doing that. What we actually need to do is have more excursions to Queens because you guys are fucking up royally.
I had someone invite me. They're like, "Hey, Frank, come out to Flushing," and I look at the map. I'm like, "Yeah."
How can we have eaten all the good food that we've eaten for Fight Feast in Queens, and you guys are just like, you know what? Staten Island that I've been to once though.
I've been a few times, man. I was a card holding member at the Alamo Draft House.
Frank, when have you gone to the Bronx?
Honestly, it's been since our boy ran the marathon.
Yeah. What the fuck is happening right now?
Yeah,
which
honestly,
was a lot of fun.
That's actually a great point by you, Frank. I think I'm the only one that's walked through all 5 boroughs.
Oof.
Same day.
In the same day?
A marathon. Ran the marathon.
God damn. All right, good for you.
They're all you start in Staten Island and you go through all 5 boroughs.
Look, Raekwon wants to call me and be like, "Let's go hang out in Queens." I'd be like, you know what? Maybe Queens goes up in the list a little bit.
Bro, you don't know
Maybe 50
Raekwon,
Cent or
man.
Ja Rule can give you a call.
Put the fries in the bag, little bro.
This is heinous.
Number 2, Manhattan. I love Manhattan a lot. I really do. There's so much to do. It's a great walking city. I love that depending on the time of the day, like the city just feels different. Like we went down to the Village yesterday and like we were in a car because we were doing a little Fight Feast thing. And I didn't even recognize the area because like I'm not normally there in like the rush hour time. And I'm like, I just love that. I love that the people kind of make the city. Lots of cool things, movie theaters, music venues. It's all there. I really enjoy Manhattan. And it's not Queens, which is...
So you hate
important.
the other 3 boroughs, but you like Manhattan and Brooklyn.
I do like Manhattan. And then number 1 is Brooklyn. Yes, I'm biased. I live there. But, I mean, the culture out there, it just can't be beat. Like,
Queens has more!
Queens has what? UBS Arena? Like, oh, my God, it takes 3 hours to get there. Forest Hills. Are we going to stop playing at 10 because, we're basically a suburb? I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Queens has everything that Brooklyn has, but better. More.
And further
more
away.
and better.
And you talk about
Why
all
don't
the
you
people.
live in Queens?
Yeah, man.
I needed a backyard. I can't live in any of these places because I needed a backyard. That's why I moved out to Jordanville. What the fuck is happening here? Like, did you guys actively go in to disparage Queens because you knew it?
Oh, man, I cross over a certain point. I'm like, we're in Queens.
This is horrible. Hopefully the chat roasts you guys to the appropriate level.
bro.
This is trash.
You know what?
Manhattan
I
and
could probably
Brooklyn-
watch all of the Lord of the Rings on my way to Queens next time because it takes so fucking long to get there. So I'll do that and probably have a good time.
Manhattan and Brooklyn have very good PR teams, right? Like they are
great PR.
They have great PR. Queens needs better PR.
Queens needs better PR.
Queens needs better PR because Brooklyn and Manhattan are the ones that everybody's going to point to, and they just don't understand that Queens is actually better.
It's kind of bad for Queens, though, if their most famous thing is that, you know, in Entourage, he says, I am Queens Boulevard, and that's what everyone knows
That's the
about Queens.
most famous thing.
Yeah, probably.
The World's Fair happened in Queens.
What year was
the
that?
airports are in Queens. The culture, the diversity,
Yeah, the airport thing isn't a good thing. That means
is
people are
in-
leaving. They're escaping.
No, they are
was in the Bronx,
coming.
it'd be so much
They
better
are
because
coming here.
I hear the planes every day because they go to Queens, which is on Long Island, and it
It is
annoys
not
the
on
hell
Long
out of me.
Island. It is a separate borough. It is not. Queens is one of the 5 boroughs that we just listed. It is the best borough. This has gotten me extremely upset, and I am actually legitimately.
Ooh, the 7 train.
Yeah, it's a great train.
Legendary line.
It's a
Vegas
legendary
Station.
line.
Woo.
To City Field. Has his baseball team.
Shout out to City Field.
Yeah, City Field's a great. It's way better than that dump Yankee Stadium.
I agree.
Wow.
When you finally get there, I mean, God.
Oh, this is.
Is there a zoo in Queens?
Hey, shout out to the
It's
US
a great zoo. There's a petting. They have a fantastic regular zoo, and then you have to cross one road and you're at the petting zoo, which is fantastic. It's a fantastic petting zoo. The Bronx Zoo is still better, but that's really all the Bronx has going for it. Queens, please.
I'm down with Queens, bro.
No, you're
I
not.
think it's the 4th best
It's under
borough.
Staten Island.
I'm number 4.
I think it is a top 4 borough.
I don't even know. I'm flabbergasted and upset. The chat needs to weigh in
The
here.
chat's
because
moved
this-
on, man. They're like,
no.
all this
No.
Queens glaze, I'm done.
Can't stand. This cannot stand.
Frankie, we got any voicemails, brother?
I think you guys are against diversity.
Living in Brooklyn?
No.
Working in Manhattan?
This is
Queens is the number 2 most diverse borough.
No, it's the number 1. It's the number 2 biggest economy behind Manhattan.
Ahoy, hoy.
Hey, this is AJ from Philly.
up,
Shout out to the
AJ?
boys in the back, Rick, Connor, Frank, honorable members, Jordan and Andy.
Let's go.
Side note, what do you think about Bad Bunny as a performer for Super Bowl 2026? Back to the main question. Do you guys think
that was a side
Tom
question.
Aspinall will be champ in 6 years?
6?
He will be the same age Jon Jones is right now at 38. We don't see that matchup with Jon Jones and Tom next year. Waiting for Tom could be a prime Gable Steveson, Jon Jones protege, who will be 32 and Tom will be 38. Do you think that fight will happen then?
Fuck, man.
6 years is so far.
That is just impossible to know. Who was even remotely close? Like Pantoja was not, Merab was not. Volk was like in the conversation 6 years ago.
Oh, like who was even like a champion that was
yeah,
like
Hamza was
talked
not,
about?
Alex Pereira was not, Jack Della was not. How many of these guys were even in the UFC 6 years ago? Tom Aspinall.
To his point though,
Valentina?
John
Yeah,
was
yeah,
the
of
name.
course, of course. Was Valentina a champ 6 years ago?
Yeah, she was in the convo, that's for sure. Yeah.
2019. Yes, she was champion.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
6 years ago, she was champ.
She's
a beast.
Look, heavyweight has a long tail to it. Do I think Tom Aspinall could? I definitely think he could because 38 is not old for a heavyweight. Do I think there's going to be enough fights to keep Tom Aspinall busy for 6 years? Or that there won't be like a Gable Steveson who comes up and maybe is the next big thing? I don't know. It's too hard to predict.
Volk also. He won his championship in December of 2019.
So then there you go.
So it's possible. We have 2 champions who were champions 6 years ago.
In a division where you can be older.
Will he just be racking up title defenses for the next 6 years? God, could you imagine 2031 he's still champ? That would be unbelievable. The Gable thing could be interesting. Like, obviously, we have to see his career play out. That would be insane if any of that came to fruition. But I think it's just one fight at a time right now, especially in the heavyweight division where you can get smoked so easily because the guys are so huge.
We need to go to resident Bad Bunny expert Andy for the.
I'm cool
weigh
with
in
it.
on
That's
that.
my
Yeah, this
that's my
was
take.
definitely for me, the resident Bad Bunny lover. Yes, I am so excited, but I hope people keep hating on it because then that just means that he's going to give us an even better fully in Spanish performance. So shout out Benito, and everybody has 4 months to get it together and learn the songs. That's all I gotta say.
Who is like? I cannot believe there's a faction of people that is bothered by this to the point like where we're getting like SNL skits about it.
So
I
bothered.
think some of it is not exactly motivated by the music. You know.
What do you mean?
I'll leave it at that. But I don't want to let Andy off the hook. Like I need to know, Andy. Queens.
What do you need to know?
Queens. Come on.
Come on.
Wait, what number are we at? You don't have to rank the others. I just need to know what number it's at.
So for me, honestly, because I'm a Brooklyn girly, it's a 5, Rick.
What
5?
Fuck.
5.
It's a 5. I think like even Staten Island, which is right next to me, right? So
Shout
it's even
out.
more fun
Shout
for
out
me
to Big
because I can
SI.
get there easily.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, man.
I mean, it has 2 cool airports.
Staten Island is the actual island of New York City.
Even if you guys are
It's not
trolling,
long.
this is really
Staten.
You are right. Like none of the other boroughs have island in the name.
This is really bad.
That's what I'm saying. It is
really
Brooklyn is
bad.
Kings County. It just sounds royal.
Yeah, never
Queens-
wanted to move to Queens, not once.
I'm going to send this to
Someone
the
actually
Queens
proposed
Tourism.
moving to Queens, and I was like, next.
They're
I don't
like,
get it.
oh, imagine your commute. It'll be really long. You can reflect.
Shout out.
Also, you are as mad about this as people are about Bad Bunny performing
Yeah.
in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I love how
But
Queens
I'm-
has a city called Long Island City.
Wow.
I'm
Like,
justified.
Queens.
I'm justified. Whereas those people, maybe
They're not
The only
justified,
man
that's
who
right.
can change my mind on Queens is their greatest export, Action Bronson.
Yeah. By the way, you guys are spitting in the face of icon of Queens, Action Bronson.
I never said
Yeah, we
anything
like
bad.
him.
I
about
am
him.
going.
I
I'm
just
going
simply
to send
ranked
this to
my
Action
boroughs.
Bronson, and you guys will have hell to pay. You guys will have a reckoning coming.
Just
to
simply ranked my boroughs. That's all.
You. Nah, this is flat out disrespect.
You're taking it as disparagement.
I'm gonna get some kind of response from Action Bronson that we're gonna play. That's my motivation at the moment.
And the stance is not going to change, bro.
He's gonna honestly. Action Bronson might be like, yeah.
Brooklyn.
Oh,
He's like, I've always wanted to move to Brooklyn. It's just
He
a
loves.
little pricey.
Action Bronson loves Greenpoint, man.
oh God, I'm upset. Let's move on before I get more upset.
So I actually had a couple of follow-ups on the kissing your mum's ass.
Oh,
story.
Frankie.
You said you grabbed her legs. Like, I don't want to get vulgar here, but did you spread them?
Good God.
Where on the ass did you kiss? They're just... Listen, I don't know how romantic the story is, but I feel like there's more details to tell. Also, did you ever look her in the eye again? Did your dad say anything about it?
These are all fair questions, Frank.
Were you trying to grab her face to kiss her goodnight? Were you sleepwalking? Why did you kiss your mum's ass?
These are great questions by investigative journalist Oscar Willis. Thank you for.
I'll leave it at this. I no longer talk to either of my parents.
Are you saying that was the offending incident?
Boys in
He's
the
not
back,
to be
what's
offending
good?
That's a good point.
Big Titty McGritty from Cardboard City.
Hey, Big Titty
First
McGritty,
off, just
shout
want to
out.
say shout out to GC.
Hey, shout out.
That was a tough one watching Jerry say what he had to say. He didn't mean it. Anyway,
he meant it.
hoping to
He
get on
meant
your
it.
fine show. It is 4 a.m.
Oh,
on the
shit.
West Coast as we speak.
Big Titty, you're up
I
early,
got some
bro.
blind rankings for you, Frankie, baby.
Here we go, Frank.
This one's going to be 1 through 6, so keep your hat on tight.
All right.
All right, best video game series, including all games inclusive, with soundtracks. So the best series of soundtracks, 1 through 6. Here we go. You ready, Frankie?
Think so.
Chrono Trigger,
Oh, fuck. 1.
Wow.
we go Halo next,
4.
Wow.
Damn, Halo was kind of epic.
Oh, yeah. Super epic.
Dance Revolution,
It's a lot of music.
We'll put that one at 6.
the
Whoa.
fourth, Castlevania,
Shout out Castlevania.
That is a strong 3.
Okay.
fifth,
What do we got? 2 and 4.
Final Fantasy series.
Ooh. That's Sephiroth battle.
That's 2.
What's left?
What's
4?
the name of the song, huh? One Winged Angel.
Is it 4 or 5?
Last
What's
but not
left?
least,
5.
Frank's mom's ass. All right, have a good
Got him.
Oh, man. Is that number 2 then?
No, it's 5.
It's 5.
All right.
Thankfully.
Shout out to FMA, baby.
I mean, you know what? He ended up in a good spot. Chrono Trigger is kind of hard. Like,
Not bad.
it's
Final
pretty-
Fantasy
you
2,
did
not
a
bad.
good blind ranking, Frank.
Appreciate you, Big Titty McGrady.
Yo, what up, boys? This is AJ calling in from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Love watching y'all show every day. But, bro, I was just looking at these UFC picks, you know, the esteemed uncrowned picks that are released before every pay-per-view. We can track the records of all the great uncrowned staff. And I noticed that, you know, Frankie, he picks Yusuf Salal or Josh Emmett to win in those picks. But when I'm tuned in to Thursday, my favorite show, The Boys in the Back, for the Parlay Pals, he picked Yusuf Salal. So I'm just wondering, Frank, was that a little hedge or what's going on there,
Frankie.
man?
What the fuck's
Thank
going on,
y'all.
man?
Peace.
Great call. Great call. The investigative journalists are out this week. That was great. Frankie, you're on the stand, brother.
There's a little hedge.
All right.
A little
I
hedge,
can kind of
guess.
accept that.
Didn't point out that I am now back in first after a perfect weekend.
Congrats,
No big
congrats.
deal. No big deal.
Also, I am glad Frankie won the Parlay Pals one.
Yeah.
As opposed to the other one. But
Yeah. Even though it didn't matter, I cost it because Apache Miss. Shout out Apache Miss.
Who's in last place on that?
I think it might be Rick, actually.
It is.
Yeah.
Wait, I had a good week last week.
Well,
Boys in the back. It's your guy, Matt from Nashville, calling
up,
again. I just wanted to say, it's been a long week. It's been a long month. It's
feel you.
been a long year.
Feel you.
It's been stressful. It's been just very heavy emotionally, just with the world and everything. Frank, your story about kissing your mom on the ass made me stomach laugh so hard in a way that I haven't in a very long time, and it felt healing. And then I think, GC, I think you said, I think your response directly after that story was, you couldn't have waterboarded that out of me. Holy shit, dude. Just all around one of the funniest, like, minute and a half segments I've ever heard on your show. Absolutely incredible. I always love your show, but that's just such a little nugget of joy that I just was sitting in traffic kind of ho-humming about the day, and then all of a sudden you guys drop this heat on me, and the funniest story of all time goes live. What the fuck? Absolutely incredible. 11 out of 10. I appreciate you guys for constantly carving away a segment of the week to just bring joy to people and talk about fights, talk about stuff that isn't fights. You guys are always positive. You guys are always a great time. You're doing a great job. And I know everyone else appreciates it too. Y'all are crushing it. Love you guys. Peace.
Damn, what a great call
Shout
from
out.
Matt. Not only bringing up Frank's past embarrassments, but also just a really sentimental, nice call. We appreciate you, Matt. Thanks for always listening, brother.
Thank you.
Frank just whispered in my ear to keep filling, so now I'm just talking to fill the space. You know, we're an anti-fourth wall program here.
I'm going back to look up the picks because I have to confirm that I'm still in last place. I
think I'm the only one that had the perfect week.
Okay. So Ben Folks picked Magomed Ankalaev. Okay, so actually, Ben and I both got one wrong because I picked Khalil.
Okay.
He picked Magomed. So we are still tied for last.
All right.
Frank picked Josh Emmett and Ibis Magomedov. So he got two wrong. So Frank is actually only one ahead of us now. So I'll catch him obviously next time we do this.
Yeah.
There's only, what,
And
3
then-
more pay-per-views to go? I think me and Drake are tied, but, you know, because B comes before R, I will go first in the pecking order. And wonder if there's going to be a tiebreaker on the final pay-per-view.
Yeah, so you were one behind Drake heading in. He picked Magomed, so that was an L, and you had a perfect, so now you're tied. Yeah, wow, you could do it.
Be great. Be great, man. I'd be pretty hype. Is there a prize? Is there a trophy? All right, we're back.
You have to ask Shaheem.
Boys in the back. What is good? It's your boy Phil from here in the rolling mountains of West Virginia.
Sick. Shout out to West Virginia.
I had a music-related question for y'all.
Let's go.
I just realized that Frank back there is a bit of a metalhead. Didn't realize he was a big Tool fan. Shout out to Tool. Great guys, Adam Jones, Mayor, and the whole bunch. Disappointed to see that he didn't know who on our shore was. No big deal. Just one of the biggest deathcore acts to pop up here recently. No big deal. But, you know, it is what it is. I guess they're just a little too heavy for Frank. So. But anyway, so my main question is, what are your all's favorite bands / genres of music? Love to hear what it is. Love the show. Shout out.
Shout
Keep
out.
holding it down.
My man.
And before you guys answer that, I have a couple of things to respond to.
Well, shout out to West Virginia. Shout out to Phil. I
Thank
love
you,
the
Phil.
the image of him through the rolling mountains of West Virginia.
Very important. The holy mountains of West Virginia, right? That's what
No,
you said?
no, rolling.
Rolling. I heard holy.
They are holy.
So, for the record, Tool is not metal. I could see how you might want to stick them in that same kind of category. And, like, look, I don't want to get on the whole genre thing. But then you brought it up again when you were talking about Lorna Shore being a deathcore band. Like, I really don't fuck with metalcore. I will admit I have listened to Lorna Shore now, and they are the production is really good. A little too polished for me, but good. The symphonic parts, I could take them or leave them. The technical parts, I think, are cool. So if you're going for hardness, I listen to bands like Bloodbath, DSI, Bathory, like, come on, Acid Bath. We can move on from there. But metal is not actually my favorite genre. My favorite genre is, it really comes to like dark ambient or most electronic music. And some of my favorite artists other than Tool would be like Pearl Jam, Radiohead. Yeah, you could go on from there. Not a big Heart fan. In fact, I'm probably the #1 Heart hater.
ABBA?
No, and Billy Joel. We'll just get them all out of there.
The Billy Joel and ABBA hate is just like you hate fun and positivity, man. We also have another Billy Joel hater back there, don't we? Jordan, don't you hate Billy Joel?
Yeah, not a fan. Even from Long Island, not it. Not it.
Jesus.
Fall Out Boy, they crushed it with that updated version of We Didn't Start the Fire, though.
But I have to say, shout out to the integrity on the cough button. I got a real bad tickle in my throat, and I was.
Did you just push it?
I finally found it. I was just over here feeling like a blind man under the table.
I thought my headphone had just went out.
All right, we're good.
Wait, does my mic also go out?
No.
It's just my mic.
Check. Yeah, my mic doesn't. But my ability.
For those joining us, Rick and Connor are learning how a mic mute button works.
Wait,
you talk while he presses it.
I haven't been pressing it for a while. I've just been mouthing the words.
I'm pushing mine right now.
Oh shit. Yeah, you guys not liking Billy Joel or ABBA is crazy, man. I mean, that's just proper party music right there. We're here for a good time, not a long time. You know what I'm saying?
How do you feel about Jimmy Buffett?
Fucking love Jimmy Buffett, man. Let's let the good times roll, baby. Rest in peace to a legend.
Big Eagles fan?
Eagles, take them or leave them. Jimmy Buffett, though? Are you kidding me?
No, I mean, I
Cheeseburger in paradise.
Rest in peace.
Hey.
One of my favorite memories is going to Margaritaville.
Dog.
For my birthday.
We went to Margaritaville together.
On my
Pirate
birthday.
looks at 40. Changes in latitude, changes in attitude. A legend, man. Shout out to JB. Absolute legend. People say JB and they're referring to Justin Bieber. I'm referring to Jimmy fucking Buffett, baby. Goat.
Have you been to Jimmy Buffett's buffet?
Nope.
No. We should check it out.
I've seen him live though, and I've been to several Margaritavilles. Shout out, trying to collect them all across the country. Favorite genre of music? I've waned on music a little bit, but it was always hip hop and rap. Don't really have a favorite artist, but I've seen Young Thug like 4 times, seen Travis Scott like 3 times, Future like 4 or 5, Drake 3 or 4 times. Been to a bunch of concerts. It was always hip hop growing up.
I'm a K-pop Demon Hunters guy. Not even K-pop, just K-pop.
We're going up. I've actually
This is our moment.
haven't watched it yet, but I've watched the music video because you would always sing it.
Rick, when you talk
in
to
work.
Action later, you should be like, I'm a big K-pop Demon Hunters
Action
fan.
Bronson, another big fan. Seen him in concert a couple times. Legend.
I will find out if he appreciates the K-pop Demon Hunters.
All right, we will take another quick break here. Back with the rest of your voicemails after this short break. Don't go anywhere.
At any point, does it get overwhelming? Does it get to be too much? This is all about your life and your journey.
From the very, very, very beginning, the thing that Dwayne had promised me, he said, this is important to everybody that's involved. Like he says, it's changed his life. It's changed his life for a lot of different reasons. Everybody involved needed this film to come along when they needed to come along for a bunch of different reasons, including myself.
UCLA isn't just a bad Big Ten team. They're a bad team, period. Last week, I was annoyed by the rap that Penn State was getting. But But like if you were somebody who took what I would have considered a premature punch at James Franklin's chin last week, swing away now, man.
Yeah.
Like this is inexcusable. No,
Meanwhile, Tim Skipper and Jerry Neuheisel, very happy for those guys because after they lost Northwestern, it did not look like they were going to win a single game all season. And now you wonder.
I know Mike Brown pretty well from when he was in the Bay. How you feeling about this new addition to the squad?
I didn't even want to talk basketball with him. I just wanted to be able to understand where he's at in life.
You just made some time to connect once you got the job and was like, let's not even talk hoop right now.
Literally, the first thing I told him was, like, we don't got to talk no hoops. I just want to get to know you, your family, understand each other as people, and, let's start off with a good foundation.
I commit the crime of picking Florida to win the game. I was called a Texas hater, I think every hour on the hour, out of pocket. I got a clickbait pate dropped on me again. You can't just disagree with someone. You can't have a difference of opinion anymore. I was called a Tex-Ags bootlicker, and these people didn't show up today for, again, my crime of accurately predicting a Texas loss. How did no one else see this?
All right, welcome back. We didn't finish on the music takes there. Rick, the man who doesn't listen to any music.
For the record, doesn't listen to any music, don't have like MP3s, albums, don't consume music, but like I hear music everywhere. Like, I'm not anti-music. When I choose to listen to stuff, I listen to podcasts. That's what it is. The soundtrack to my life is people having conversations. And many have said that's the sign of an insane person.
Rings of Saturn getting a lot of love in the chat. Do you know who that is, Frank?
Is that a band that
I would assume Rings of Saturn getting a lot of love?
No.
No, you don't know who that is? I don't know who that is.
I'd like to see a lot of love for Queen.
That's another thing. Like, if I don't know a band, I'm not one of those people who are like, oh, yeah, I fuck with them. Like, I just say straight up, no. It doesn't mean that, like, no, it'll never check it out.
Well, isn't that what happened with Lorna Shore? Like, I
went and checked it out. Like, Sleeto was like, go check these two out. Another close friend of mine was like, you should check out this EP instead. I went with the EP. Was very thrilled with it. It was a really good EP. I'll listen to it again.
Brennan QFG said the four rappers I listed were the worst rappers of the last decade. Drake, Travis Scott, Young Thug, Future. Huh. I don't know if we're doing a worst rappers of all time for the last decade. I don't know if those four are coming up.
Probably
I think there's been a few guys that are probably worse than them. GC got the best music and taste, I know, but the hip hop is shite. Old school is so much better. I agree. Throwing a little Big Punisher. Give me a little Big Pun.
Oh, Big Pun. From the
out.
Bronx, I believe.
Definitely not Queens. 50 Cent from the Queens. Shout out.
50 Cent, Ja Rule.
Hey, shout out to Ja Rule as well.
Hello, cool.
All right.
Boys in the back. This is Derek from Trinity, North Carolina, originally from Lithonia, Georgia.
Hey, shout out Lithonia.
Hopefully this gets through. It's hard to sift through all the amazing things and messages people send out to y'all, but just want to say I love y'all's passion for MMA, man, especially when MMA is great. When I watch the watch along, that's along with me watching the pay-per-views, man, and seeing y'all's reaction to Yuri and Poatan getting those finishes, man. I had the same reaction too, man. And GC, don't feel down because Yuri no-sold you big time, man. That was an epic reaction. I had the same reaction. I was rolling all over my living room floor, freaking out. I'm glad my wife didn't wake up and kick me out the house because she would have, most definitely. But man, just love y'all's passion. I love the show. Shout out Frank. Shout out Andy. Shout out Jordan. Y'all take it easy, man. That's all I want to say. Peace.
That's from the heart.
Peace, brother. Peace for real. Shout out to Lithonia. Shout out to you for supporting, man. We always appreciate you watching. I do have to say, man, MMA is such a niche sport that it really is one of those, like, you can't walk into a bar and like fake it till you make it type shit like you can with like the NFL and the MLB and everything, where you're just like, yeah, I know Aaron Judge. Like real hardcore MMA fans I can spot it from a mile away based on what you're talking about within the first minute of a conversation. And that's why it was so cool with Raven yesterday when he starts listing all this off and you're like, oh, this guy's fucking one of us. Like he is part of the brand, and it takes like instantaneously, you're just like, this is our fucking guy. He knows what he's talking about. Like it's to the point where like if I'm talking with someone just like casually, like at a party, and like I'm saying like what I do for work or whatever, man, if they bring up like I had one dude at a party who gave me his whole take on why DJ is actually the number one GOAT. And I was like, oh shit, man.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, like you at least know like DJ and stuff and like making a push for him and stuff. It's like beyond the Conor McGregor. And like one time a guy brought up Tony Ferguson to me and I was just like, nice. But like when you got to do bringing up Chris Gutierrez and being disappointed in his performance against Basra, you're like, one of our own,
Raven.
guy, let's go.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out, man.
Imagine that guy's wife waking up and being like, what the fuck are you doing on the floor? He's rolling around.
All right, so you actually say that. Another Yuri fight, 2022 against Glover when he's going for the title. I am in Italy on vacation with my girlfriend at the time, and she is passed out. I am tuned in because it was in Singapore. It was still on at American time, though, but I'm watching Yuri at like 6:45 Italian time on an iPad on an illegal stream. AM, because it's the time is ahead. I'm in bed watching it on the iPad, and like when he got the choke against Glover, I like was going ape shit.
That fight. My God.
Yeah. Like first of all, the fight was crazy. So there was just moments throughout it. I was sipping something Moretti or some kind of Italian beer in bed at 6:45 a.m. watching this fight. I was just like, oh shit, like this is so crazy. And then like when he got the choke, I was like, holy fuck, like I can't fucking believe it. He's the champ. This is nuts. And she's like coming out of the stupor. She's like, what's going on? Like what the hell is going on? So I feel for your wife because that can be quite confusing for wives and girlfriends. Like when you're going when you have the side effects of a Yuri Prochazka fight and you have to wake up to them. So
did that result in like a rule like you cannot watch it?
No.
Times.
I was like, Yuri won the bout, and she's like, who the fuck is Yuri?
Flash cut to him reacting to your reaction.
Yeah.
Isn't she lovely?
Oh, shout out.
Isn't she wonderful? It's me, Mr. Minor, the judge from the Hughes and Nurmagomedov fight. I'm just kidding. It's your boy Bodkins. What's good?
Shout out to Bodkins.
In light of the awful judging from that fight, it got me to wonder, if you guys could fix one thing in all of sports, would it be the perfect judging, perfect refereeing, perfect umpiring, or, it could be even a ref in any other sport. Yeah, y'all have the best weekend of your life. We'll catch y'all later. Bodkins out.
Bodkins always comes with such good energy. He's
Love
always
it.
He's always
Love
high.
Bodkins. He has
high energy. I don't know if he's high. He might be high.
He might be high too. Who knows? What would we be?
No, what thing would you change in sports? I have a definitive answer on this.
I thought he was asking which like refereeing thing.
No. Would you change like judging, refereeing?
Okay.
What's a thing you change across sports?
All right, so we've seen a lot of success with tennis having the Hawkeye, where it's just the auto call robot, like so you don't need the line judges anymore, and there's no point in challenging, so it keeps the game moving. You know it immediately. I've kind of loved that. Man, I guess we're both just catching it here with the coughs and everything.
You got a cough?
No, I just had to burp.
I don't have a cough button.
I just had to burp there.
It's tough.
Robotic umpiring.
You want it.
I wouldn't mind seeing it. I think it would speed the game up and it would just make things accurate. You either hit the strike zone or you don't. And you can quickly adjust it to all batters, though I would miss. There's nothing better than a good like the nice strike three call is great, or a nice ball call. But yeah, I mean that'd be a quick one to fix.
You guys gave blazing hot, terrible takes about the Boroughs rankings. I have a hot take that I do not think will be popular.
Okay.
Bodkins talked about like perfect refereeing, perfect judging. I would advocate for imperfection. I want to see less perfection.
Oh, okay.
I am anti-analytics. I am anti-homogeny across sports. If you even think about making a new formula for sports, I want you eliminated. There should be no statistics, advanced statistics. There should be no stat revolution. There should be no advanced statistics that lead to exact same outcomes in all of sports. It has ruined sports for me. There is no magic. There is no mystery. There is no romance in sports anymore, and I blame the stats revolution for that. Advanced stats, out, gone. If you even think about making a new advanced stat, gone.
All right, so I actually agree with you, especially in American football, when a guy makes a catch in real time, and you're just like, dude, that was a catch. And then you see it on replay, and like you're like, that is a catch. And then they're talking about how like as he's going to the ground, it moves a centimeter as he's falling, and they find a reason to call it no catch. Like that's where I'm just like, dog, this was a catch. If you're in the
Call it on the
backyard,
field.
if you're 20 years ago, like it's a catch. Like give me a break here. I'm with you on like the reviewing down to a T, and like
it's ruined sports.
Sometimes with soccer, it's like they get the lasers out for the onside, and the guy's like pinky toe is offside. It's like, come on.
I would rather things matter. I would rather there be an air of mystery. I would rather there be something kind of like up for grabs and potentially get it wrong than get it to this point that everything is exact science, right? Every team plays exactly the same way in the NBA now because they have these advanced stats that say you're supposed to shoot this many threes, and now they all play exactly the same style. It's horrible. It has produced the worst possible sports. And it's like every team goes for two. Every team does this in football. It's all the same. Baseball has been overly statted to the point that every team is exactly the same. It's boring. Sports have become boring because of the fact that everybody's moving toward the exact same outcomes. There used to be like characters. There used to be, I feel the same way about MMA, right? The meta has kind of become the same. It was much better when we didn't have these things. If you even think about making a new stat, advanced stat, you're gone. Get out. Done.
Cross says bring out the laser measurement on nut shots.
Nothing. Zero. The referee got it wrong. Tough shit. That's it. Call it on the field.
Rick is going to banish you to Antarctica if you make a new advanced stat.
That's it. You're done. You're cooked. To these guys, they'll banish you to Queens, according to them.
Hey, shout out. The
Frank, did Frank pass out back there?
No, what's wrong?
Frank, you doing all right, man?
Doing great, man.
We're ready to move on, man.
Got a voice
Still
still
talking about Queens or what?
What's up, boys in the back? It's Nico. Giving
what's
a little
up, Nico?
update from Miami.
This
I
is
really
bro who had
appreciate
the-
you guys giving me some good advice.
Yes.
I do think things will be okay.
I know they'll be
Bit
okay.
the bullet. Told my parents that I fucked up, and good to know they're riding with me no matter what.
Of course, they are.
I really appreciate the advice on sometimes you think things are going to be worse than they are. Just focusing on what I can control now, and really appreciate you guys. See you at the top.
Hey, see you at the top, Nico. Now it's over. Now you don't have to worry about it.
And it wasn't as bad as he thought, and now we move on.
And it puts into perspective. It's nice to know that your parents will rock with you no matter what.
100%. Your parents are real ones. Oh, Frank really did fall asleep. No.
What's up, boys? It's Keith calling from Canada.
Keith!
Love the show. I've been sitting on this one for a couple weeks now, just listening to you guys chat, and I gotta say, it's like, how do you guys feel about the Conor McGregor thing as it relates to how your country looks to the rest of the world? Like, this is a guy who is, by all accounts, reprehensible as a person, you know, legally liable of SA. It wasn't so long ago Pete C was on the show breaking that down. Well, not your show, but, you know, the more important one.
Wow.
And it just, it seems so crazy to have a carrot dangled in front of the MMA world, and everyone's just like, oh yes, Conor, come back, please come back. No matter what you've done, no matter what you represent, we're going to glorify you in front of our national parliament on the day celebrating our independence, or at least associated with it. To me, that's wild. I know this is like not the tone of normal voicemails, but sometimes you got to be challenged, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts as Americans. How do you feel about it? Does it even register? Yeah, and GC, I'm with you on the 60-second showers. Good man.
Shout out, brother.
Peace.
Maybe a brother involved. No, we appreciate the call. I thought you were going at it from the perspective of Ireland. You're referring to America and Conor McGregor potentially being on the White House card.
Giving him that big position on like American independence. I was like, hey, here's the guy.
Yeah, an unfortunate fact of our world today, of society, is that being a celebrity, having fame and power and money, makes these horrible things that someone does excusable to a lot of the world. It makes it to where they're going to be able to do essentially whatever they want. Like, he holds this star power. He would bring so many eyes to the card. He would generate so much money for the UFC that most people are willing to look the other way for it and aren't going to be like, well, it's because of this and that. They are much more focused on, well, he's going to generate a shit ton of money and he's going to bring a ton of eyes to it. So whatever, we'll look the other way on this other stuff.
Yeah, and it's important to note that like there are dissenting voices, right? It is not a singular.
Of course.
Like, we hear criticism of Conor McGregor all the time on this front. And in fact, many people have expressed that criticism. I don't think this is like a universal opinion that like this idea is like, yes, Conor should have these opportunities and be in this spot. I don't think that's like a unified thought across the sport. There's also an important distinction between like, especially when it comes to media, right? I think there's a misunderstanding of the difference between promotion and coverage. Media's job is not to promote. Media's job is to cover, right? So by covering the idea that Conor McGregor is going to be on this White House card, that is a responsibility that media has. If that becomes reality, if that ultimately happens, that will be a significant event for this sport in particular and for the media landscape and to cover. The idea of promotion is not the media's job, right? The media's job is the coverage part. The UFC is the one who decides to promote, or fans decide to engage with, and things like that. They ultimately have choices. Do I want to engage with something that Conor McGregor or anybody else, right? It doesn't have to be specific to Conor. If I disagree with them, do I want to ultimately give them my attention, my money, my whatever the currency is in that regard? And they have those choices to make. So I don't think there's like a universal thought when it comes to this. There are definitely people out there that are not going to support the idea of Conor McGregor on their card. There are definitely people that might tune out due to that perspective. And I think we just have to acknowledge all of those. And in the coverage, right, as I was talking about media coverage, it's important to note these things, right? I don't think there will be an article that comes out around Conor McGregor headlining that card that might not mention the assault trial in Ireland. And so it's all that. It's about being responsible as journalists. It's about, as a fan and a consumer, deciding what you want to give your money toward. But I don't think there's unified thought across the board on that. So yeah, that's my position. And I don't think it's as simple as just like everybody wants Conor to fight. I don't think that that's ultimately true.
And I know that it is not ultimately true. The voices online are loud against Conor McGregor even returning to the UFC at all, not only because of these allegations against him and the court cases that he's been involved with, but also because he hasn't fought in 4 years. We haven't seen him. We haven't seen him in the octagon. And Conor McGregor isn't the only example of this. People always bring up Mike Tyson, Kobe Bryant. Alexander Zverev is on the ATP tour, and he's had several domestic violence cases against him as well. Like there are athletes that this happens to all the time. Conor McGregor, obviously, as big as like a Mike Tyson and a Kobe Bryant level, and he is in our world. This is not something new. This example of having this massive spotlight on you and you being able to continue your life, as opposed to a civilian gets charged with this that essentially ends their life right then and there.
Yeah. They're operating by a different set of rules, but also like, there may be a point where the economics of that don't make sense, but at the moment it seems like the UFC is pushing forward. But I hope that explains, clarifies, or anything else.
And I don't think you're wrong to have that point of view to question as well. And we appreciate the call.
Yeah.
I did want to clarify, more important show, is he referring to the Crack or Helwani
I think Helwani show, but
I think the Crack.
Yeah.
What's up, boys? Shout out to you from Nashville, Tennessee. I'm expecting a baby girl here
Congrats.
in February, and I'm a first-time dad.
Oh, congrats,
My
man.
question to you guys was, as someone that does MMA, jiu-jitsu sort of things, Eric, how important is it to toughen girls up, baby girls, and to Conor, someone that plays golf?
Interesting.
Oh, did we lose him?
Oh, is that the whole voicemail?
Is that it?
What's up, Conor, someone that plays golf?
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
I'm someone who plays golf.
For my part, it's not about like toughening girls up. It's about equipping them for life, right? Equipping them to be able to take care of themselves, defend themselves, build their confidence and things like that. Also, obviously, I'm connected to it through this space. And so I want my girls in that, and I'm going to put my boy Logan as well into it for those reasons that I said, right? It's the confidence, it's the discipline, it's the learning to how to take care of yourself and defend yourself. It's not necessarily like tough or not tough. I'm not really looking at it that way. Andy, I'd be curious of your perspective in terms of that.
Of putting them in jiu-jitsu?
Just like idea of like women, right? Protecting women and them taking self-defense, jiu-jitsu, stuff like that.
I think it's always worth it. I mean, I wish that I had learned it before college, right? Because we had like classes in college, and then we did in some other like places that I worked at. I wish that when I was younger, I had done it just in case. Granted, I also grew up in a very, very dangerous country, so like we should have definitely been taught any of those things. But I think to your point of like the discipline and the just like I feel like
respect.
any after school activity helps with that. I think like my kids in dance, and that helps a ton with discipline, and it helps a ton with getting energy out and expressing yourself. So I think there's value to it no matter what it is. But to your point, if it comes to like teaching us how to protect ourselves, 1000%, I think it's worth it.
Yeah. So get them in if that's the route you want to go. But to Andy's point, like just getting them active into activities is always going to be good. But for the self-defense, like I'm super happy that they're taking judo and jiu-jitsu right now.
What's up, boys?
Oh, what about Jesus
Shout out
Golf?
to you from
Keep going. I play golf.
Nashville, Tennessee. Just had a quick question. First, I'm expecting a baby girl here in February, and I had a question for Eric.
All right, we can move on.
As someone that does amateurs,
go to the end of it.
Thank you for
skip
getting
ahead to
me
the golf.
through all these days, man. I'm looking forward to hearing your answers. For you, I'm looking forward to hearing your answers. Thank you for getting me through all these days, man. Yeah.
Respect.
All right, we appreciate it. Right. Thank you so much. Frank fucked you there. I'm sorry, man.
Boys, Vince from Long Beach, California.
What's up, Vince?
Quick question for you.
He's calling from a toilet.
Curious if you know how judges are actually scoring during the fight. I know they have to turn in their scorecard at the end of each round, but I'm curious, during the round, and a lot can happen in 5 minutes, how are they actually scoring it? Is this just a gut instinct thing? At the end of the round, they're like, that guy won, or this guy won. Are they going off vibes? Are they keeping a little tally on a sheet of paper in front of them? They obviously can't look down because they'd be missing something. So I'm curious how it is they're physically scoring each round. Possibly they get an electronic readout of the stats, and then combine that with their gut instinct, or what? I'm very curious, and I've never heard an answer on this one, so appreciate if you guys have any insight.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
All right, we're not professional judges, but how do you score rounds?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. MMA fans definitely think they go on vibes, right? Yes. MMA fans definitely think it's
I think they're holding a pencil with a piece of paper, and like as they're scoring it for one guy, they let it slide, and then they're like, if it goes really far to one side, it's a 10-8, and that's just how they actually score it.
There's a criteria. There is.
There's a criteria in their head, right? But like they can't be like jotting, like he said, you can't be jotting down notes and they don't get stats for it.
Let's say what's supposed to happen, and then we can say what we think is happening. So what's supposed to happen is there is a very clear judging criteria, right?
For sure.
Maybe very clear is an overstep. There is an established
there's a
judging criteria that they are supposed to judge the fight based on these things, and then prioritized in this order, right? We hear over and over that damage is the most significant judging criteria, and they're supposed to follow from there, right? Effective grappling, octagon control. They actually talk about this on the UFC broadcast at the start of many of the events. They talk about what the judges are looking for. They're supposed to go by that criteria, and then they're supposed to judge accordingly based to that criteria, what they're seeing in each round of the fight. I do think there is some leeway to take some notes and count some stats and do some things. I can't say I believe I've heard before that there are some jurisdictions where they do get some kind of stat, maybe not. I'm not actually 100% sure. But the way it is supposed to work is they are supposed to utilize that criteria to come to a conclusion based on who won the round based on that criteria. So that's what's supposed to happen. What actually happens, sometimes it feels like they're not really going by the criteria that's been established, right? 50-45 in the Usman-Hughes fight does not feel to me like those rounds were judged against the same criteria as somebody who might have had it 48-47 for Usman or even 48-47 for Hughes. But, this would require, in order to fine-tune this would require some kind of accountability and answering for why we have scorecards this way and things like that. But that's what's supposed to happen.
It's also... Do some judges have their own
criteria that
their own criteria by what they're going by? But I would imagine they're sitting there and they just watch it for 5 minutes and then they jot down who they think won.
The same way I do. I'm looking at
That's what I was going to say. How do you judge the score? Like
I'm
I sit there and watch it
prioritizing
for
the
5
damage
minutes
and I'm thinking about the next steps. And
I mean, maybe you could jot down some notes of like maybe they have like a notepad and then like some chicken scratch of just like because like sometimes it's hard not to be playing with recency bias of just like at the end of the round if some guy's looking stronger. Like, so you want to remember if like a dude landed a stiff right hand with like 4.5 minutes to go.
Yeah, you want to know what happened early in the round. Certainly that'd be helpful to kind of indicate that. There's also that myth, right, of like, oh, it's good to end the round on top and landing those punches and stuff. But like, you can do your work early and it's worth exactly the same. So
right, but I don't even know how much of it is a myth because I do think sometimes people just score it because of the way it ends. I feel like I'm getting better at judging fights.
Yeah, but the problem is we don't know, right? You're saying like maybe it isn't a myth. We don't know ultimately because they never have to explain. They never have to kind of answer that.
Do the judges get to hear what the other people scored before they announce
They
them?
submit their cards.
Okay.
Also,
so do you think that they're like when you take a test, you're like, God, I hope I got this the same as everyone else? And then you're like,
I think
I'm
they
the
just have
outlier.
to do it to the best of their ability. So
also, like, we've talked a lot about open scoring over the years, but like, could you imagine open scoring and it's Hughes Nurmagomedov going into that 4th round, and I believe
Hughes has already lost.
Yeah, well, I believe what did I score? 2, 3, and 5 for Hughes.
Yes.
But yeah, imagine you're going into the 4th round and it's like 30-27 Nurmagomedov, 29-28 Nurmagomedov, 29-28 Nurmagomedov. Like you're just like, fuck. Like, are you serious? How did none of these been scored for me?
Yeah, because the round what round did the 49-46 judge score for Hughes? Was it 4?
I can't.
5? I don't know. Yeah.
Regardless, it's
heading into the 5th. You're already done.
Yeah, you're going into the 5th round, and it's like 40 or 39-36.
Meanwhile, a lot of us had it tied. So
yeah,
it's
40-36. Yeah. Oh, he gave him the 5th. So
So
it was
he would've-
40-36 on all 3 judges' scorecards?
No. One judge gave him an earlier round. The guy who had a 48-47, Usman, gave him an earlier round.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah, I
heading
forgot about
into
the
the 5th, he has already lost unless he gets a finish. So it's kind of
Yeah.
crazy stuff.
I feel like that wouldn't be beneficial. Because then, remember his reaction to the scorecards. Like, then he's looking around like, are you kidding me?
Much like my anti-advanced stats, I don't want to see open scoring. I just want it to be scored at the end and let me find out. And when Bruce Buffer reads it, or shout out Joe Martinez reads it, I want to know what it is. All right.
Going on, boys? It's Harry calling again from Long Island.
What's up, Harry?
I'm about 3 hours in on the previous episode and can't really come up with a question. I missed you guys last week. I wanted to come up with something fun and interesting for this week's, and so far no inspiration from the prior episode. Quite a shame. This is the best I got. Yeah, it's a bit out of left field. This is for everyone. Have any of you ever kissed your mom on the ass? All right, thanks. See you.
Thanks for that one, Harry. I have not. Anybody in the back?
I think maybe once before. I can't recall.
That was a good one, Harry. Thanks, man.
What's up, boys? This is DJ calling again.
What's up, DJ?
Not the Glazed Connor this time. I literally just finished listening to this last week's episode.
Okay.
And I'm calling you. I had to pause it to call you because I had to pull my truck over laughing so hard at Frank telling the story of kissing his mom's ass and Connor just going, your mom.
Dude, I'm fucking crying laughing. I just wanted to tell you that's the crazy Frank. You can't tell people that, dog. You gotta keep that one. Take that one to the grave.
Oh, there's no
That's
taking it to the
insane.
grave now.
All right, love you, boys.
Love you too, brother. Yeah, no keeping it in the grave now. No keeping it in the grave now.
I've told that story for 20 years.
Oh, God. No one's had the reaction we did?
No.
Now that you put it on wax.
I think your guys' idea of kissing an ass is different than what happened.
Well, I mean, Oscar Willis asked you for answers, and you just
I know.
moved
Well,
on.
it's just like the fact that his mind went there. He's got to wait for the ASMR channel.
What's up, boys? Danny from Charlotte. I called last week and was asking Rick to clarify his stance on Tank and Jake. And thanks to his very astute reminder to go rewatch, I realized, as one Cheeto Vera would say, what the fuck is going on, bro? Because I definitely remembered Floyd doing better. With that being said, I've dropped a sizable wager on Mr. Jake Paul to knock out said little guy Tank Davis because I think Rick is spot on. And I'm happy to take the L there. And
That's a
I
smart
also
man right
listened.
there.
Man, my voicemail was way too fucking long last week, guys. Sorry. Need to hit the Benjamin more before I make the call. We can keep it short and sweet. Love you both. Need to hit the Benjamin more before I make the call. We can keep it short and sweet. Love you both. And GC, pay-per-view, Boys in the Back are by far my favorite because we get fight feasts and the real ones love fight feasts.
My God.
Shout out, boys.
Shout
out
out.
Frank, Andy, everybody in the back. Y'all are the best. Bye-bye.
Great
that's
call.
a great
Great
one.
call.
That's a great one.
Check Fight Feast over 10K. Shout out.
Hey!
Joining Rarefied Air.
Hey, boys in the back. It's Bougie Alpaca.
What's up,
and
Bougie?
I was just wondering, I had a little content idea for you guys.
Oh, okay.
After watching Dan Hooker's interview.
All
and it's
right.
more for Rick, actually.
All right, fuck me.
I think the boys in the back should take the crew to New Zealand for Christmas and try fighting in Dan Hooker's 1 minute scrap. I think
Try
Rick should
fighting?
try
Covering, I
it,
was with you.
and you know, you guys could go out there, film some content,
Yes.
hang out with Dan and the Mac Life, and you know,
Oscar Willis.
make some
Shout out
fun
Oscar.
content and get in a little 1 minute scrap.
Keep saying fun
I know you
content.
will not take
for
this
who?
up, but I thought it was
Yeah.
just a fun idea to think
It's
about.
a fun idea. Us getting
All right.
bludgeoned.
Have a
No,
good
not
show,
even
boys.
us. Only I have to
Bye.
do it.
Yeah, right. Rick getting bludgeoned in 1 minute scraps in New Zealand, and then having to go to the hospital, and then waking up delirious after we drugged him and we're taking him on a Lord of the Rings tour. Does not sound like his idea of a good Christmas.
I get knocked out and I wake up on the tour.
Yeah, we're just wheelchairs. Like, where am I? Dan Hooker's
why am I
like,
not in
we're going to
Queens?"
see the orcs.
So I'm asleep for 8 hours, and then I'm asleep for 8 hours again on that Lord of the Rings tour.
Shout out to New Zealand, though.
Yeah, that's a really hard pass. The hardest of
Have you
passes.
watched the videos
Yeah,
of the 1
no.
minute scraps? These dudes are killing each other.
No. Hard pass. 1 minute scraps is cool.
They're also fighters too. Like these aren't just guys off the street. Like these are dudes that have fought.
Some, but they're like a lot of times they've kind of like fought.
This next one that he's doing, that he's asking us to go to, is they're calling it the King of the KOs. And Dan Hooker was like, "You have to have fought and you have to have gotten KOs."
Yeah,
I'll pass.
Pass.
I don't have a good enough health insurance to go to a hospital in New Zealand. Did that one strike a nerve there, Frankie?
What's up, boys? In the back. I usually call and cry because you didn't play my last voicemail.
Oh, Appleton.
But I'm just calling as
Leviticus.
myself today. This is Leviticus Appleton, Savannah, Georgia.
Shout out.
I need a
IMDb
favor.
page. Now you need a favor.
Let me soften you up first. Okay? But this is genuine.
Okay.
I've been following Ariel for 11 years. Rick, you've been by his side, obviously, for pretty much that whole amount of time. So to see you react to my humor when you listened to my voicemail a couple weeks ago is honestly like surreal for me. Yeah, I'm a big fan of you guys. And I even made a video defending Ariel from all the unwarranted hate in 2023. It's called "If You Hate Ariel Helwani, You Are a Casual." And it kind of pissed off my little audience I had built. But that's fine. I just quit YouTube because being an MMA YouTuber, it's tough. It's tough.
Shout out.
You got to be an asshole.
I found
but
Shed Show.
Anyway, GC, you discovered my IMDb, which I didn't even really know about because I am terrible at networking and all the online stuff.
Legend.
LinkedIn. I don't do any of that stuff. But yeah, I am in Brideheart with Rebel Wilson. I'm in a lot more stuff than what was on there, from what I could tell, because I am in fact an actor. Or you could say I'm a starving artist. But starving artist is becoming a little too literal. It's super tough. So if anyone listening needs a voice actor or a character actor, please look me up. My name is Leviticus Appleton. You can contact my agency, Coastal Talent, based in South Carolina, or you can contact me directly, LeviticusAppleton@gmail.com.
Unbelievable name.
And letting me say that on the show was the favor. So I hope you guys played this. Because if you didn't, I will never call again. Just kidding. All right. Thanks, guys.
Just subscribe to Shed Show on YouTube, even though he said he quit.
He quit.
Subscribe
Shout
anyway.
out to Leviticus. Hopefully he gets some booking.
I
off
appreciate that, man. I hope you do.
Yeah, we appreciate
IMDb page is good, man. I'm a big IMDb.
Yeah.
Everyone's all in on what's the ranking site? Movie Phone? No.
Rotten Tomato?
Nope. Other one. Letterboxd.
Oh, Letterboxd, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just an IMDb guy through and through.
He's in Brideheart with Rebel Wilson. Shout out. Leviticus doing things.
You know, I have to admit a secret when it comes to IMDb. Sometimes if like a movie's like an 8.3 or something, and I watch it, I'm like, that's not an 8.3. That's like a 7.1. I'll go on and give it a 1 star just to bring down the average.
Oh,
Jesus,
you're that
dirty.
guy.
That's sociopathic.
No.
You're like, I need
You're
to.
trying to.
Because if I give it a 7, it doesn't get touched. If I give it a 1, now we start bringing it down a little bit.
You believe in justice.
I'm a 1 or 10.
Sometimes.
I'm a 1 or a 10 guy. That's the only. If you go on my IMDb reviews, it's only 1s or 10s. Because then I watch a movie and I'm like, a 6.7. That's not a 6.7.
It's
That's
a
like a
10.
7.8.
Oh, you're trying to
Give it a 10 and you bring it up.
On that same line, sometimes I go to Amazon and like look up one of my favorite albums, even like Tool or a good movie, sort by lowest rating and read everyone's shit reviews.
Wow.
And it emboldens me.
Wow.
To do what?
I don't know.
I'm also a 1 or a 5 Google reviewer. I'm either going on to
Either
leave
all or nothing.
what am I going to do? A lukewarm take? No, I'm either going to write a poetic masterpiece about why your store or restaurant or bar or whatever is the greatest thing I've ever experienced. Shout out to Zensha and Darien. I think that was the last one I've left. I've only left like 3 or 4. But every time I leave it, it is eloquent. It is beautiful. Or it is a 1-star review with pictorial evidence shitting on the place. Those are the only 2 that I ever do. I've only left like 7 Google reviews my whole life.
5s or 1s?
5s or 1s, and I think it's like 5 5s and 2 1s. Shout out. Found a cockroach in my meal one time in Brooklyn. It was great.
Was that a 1 or a 5?
Extra protein.
What's up, boys? Double D, double M.
Hey!
It was a great weekend in MMA at the PFL Championship Series. And listen, I know what everyone's thinking. Are we going to talk about the refereeing? Yes. Are we going to talk about the judging?
Oh,
yes.
Good. I love this.
But I think the most important thing to remember in all of this,
tell us, Don,
is the importance of free speech. Okay?
Okay.
That topic brings up a lot of different things in the world, a lot of unpopular things being said. But I want to focus on a couple unpopular things that were said in the Smart Cage this weekend.
Where is this going?
Okay, some of them are, he didn't foul you. Keep going. I stopped the fight. Obey my commands at all times. You know, if you want to say those things in certain contexts, some people might think you're a disgusting human being. And that's okay. And I defend your right to say those things. You know, Brian Minner said words like 50-45. And a lot of people would think, Brian Minner, you're a disgusting human being for saying those words in this context. But whether or not you feel that way, I believe in his right to say these things. I believe in the rights of Keith Peterson to say these things. And we got to defend him. You know, that's what this is all about. That's what let us, you know, have these great events like we did this past weekend. And of course, coming up, taking a week off and then going to be PFL Africa, resuming. Hope to see Francis there, and check it all out on the PFL app. Now,
Frank, what are you playing these days? I know you're not an Xbox guy. I'm not going to stop trying to sell you on it, but I am curious. I know you mostly play on PC. What are you playing? And GC, I'm asking on behalf of my literary friend, John Martin, what are you reading? It sounded like you finished up the last book. He noted that down. He recommended, and curious. He told me you just started The Crying of Lot 49 by Thomas Pynchon, which, he's very excited about. I don't know a thing about that, but take care. Take it easy. Talk to you next time. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, Don Davis, absolute legend.
He made a point there about the importance of free speech, It was a good point.
Kept going. Legend. What am I reading right now? Just finished The Measure. Did I explain this on the show? It's like everyone gets the box dropped off and it tells you how long you're going to live.
Oh, yes,
when
yes.
you're gonna die.
You did.
That was a nice fiction. I'm doing nonfiction now, much more serious. Man's Search for Meaning, from a guy who survived a concentration camp during the Holocaust.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's
A little light reading. Huh?
yeah, not quite light, but it's one that's been recommended to me a few times. So it's a short read. It's like 150 pages. I'll be done with it by the weekend's out. Switch trajectories. There.
Sounds like John Martin can.
Come on, Johnny. Come on.
Double D, I have been playing Hades. It's a little roguelite game that I don't usually play those genres, but this one was pretty addictive. And I guess
What is roguelite? Sorry.
So there's an old PC game, I want to say, or called Rogue, where everything was, you basically had to do a run. Like you try to go as far as you can, and then if you die, you have to do it again. And the stage was completely randomly generated. So a roguelite does that same concept, but there are things that you acquire on one run that carry on to the next.
Okay. Oh, so roguelite is a style of game.
It was like Maze Runner when it got super hot. Okay.
Yeah. So there's roguelites, and then there's roguelikes, which are they try to stay more to that original.
Where you don't carry over anything.
Correct.
You have the Switch 2 yet?
Yeah.
Did you get the Donkey Kong game?
Yeah.
Is it sick?
I haven't played it.
Jesus.
By the way, Frank,
saving it for a rainy day.
Frank,
it was a gift. The same shit. Okay, I got you Tears of the Kingdom. Hey, you just started it. How many years after the fact?
I ran through Breath of the Wild. It took me 8 months.
I respect that.
100 hours of gameplay, and
look at that. The gift that keeps on giving.
Tears of the Kingdom is essentially a continuation of the
best birthday present you've ever gotten from a coworker.
Yeah.
All right.
I haven't gotten many birthday presents from coworkers. It's
tough, man.
It's like being excited about Queens being number 4.
I get you.
Speaking of gifts, Frank donated to my family, the old Switch. He gave it to me.
Oh, shit. That's legendary.
Am I that confident?
That's sick.
Bench move.
That's sick.
I just got to say, Frank hitting the who me after Ariel ran out. After Ariel said, GC's gay roommate. All-time drop hit. In the series, Frank, levels beyond. This man is hilarious.
You hit that, Frank?
Love it. Love you guys.
Sometimes when you guys don't respond, I'm like, I wonder if anyone heard that.
There's sometimes I don't.
I definitely didn't hear that. The GC's gay roommate also was just a hilarious roommate. I mean, a hilarious nickname. That and also GC's doorman a few weeks ago. Shit's good.
The lore is expanding. But yeah, Frank's been on his shit.
You were saying, I'm sorry?
I said you've been very good, Frank, on the drops.
Wow, thanks.
It's Don. It's Donald. Many people are talking about the card on my birthday. My birthday is the best birthday, I'd say. I'm looking forward to Jon Jones versus Powhatan. Powhatan, that's my friend, Powhatan. I love Powhatan. Best thing to come out of Brazil, I'd say, at least. I want to see Joe Pfeiffer. That Joe Body Bags Pfeiffer. Where's Joe? Joe's not sleepy. He's not sleepy, Joe.
Sure.
I want to mend the relationship with him and his father. We'll put tariffs on Joe Pfeiffer's father. There's many things that can be done for this card. Connor, you're not getting those visas. You're not getting them. Not 100 of them. We'll do 50. We'll do 50. Because I love the people of Ireland. The people of Ireland loved me. They still love me.
His impression is
anyways,
good enough for us to know it's Trump.
Just wanted to say hi. Tell Donald, tell the other Donald, tell Don, Double D. I don't want to talk to him. I don't want him or his business involved on this card. Not on my lawn, not for my birthday. Bye.
All right, thanks, Donald.
Bye. That's how you said
that really was. It was like good enough for us to know it's Trump, not good enough for it to be like, wow, this is a great Donald Trump impression.
How about him referencing Don Davis too? He's like, Don Davis, don't bring your card here. Salute.
Shout out. I also want to say, breaking news, ESPN MMA. Reporting Charles Oliveira has announced that he's changing his nickname from Two Bronx to the Predator
Actually?
for UFC Rio. A new era has begun. Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy word.
Okay, let me just say something. There's a chance ESPN MMA is, let me say this kindly. It is not what it used to be under the New York Rick, Tessa Hirsch era. I have a feeling this is just they saw this going viral with the aggregators and are copying that. I don't think this is like actual like reporting. There's no article attached to it, right?
No.
Yeah.
Graphic.
I think this is probably that.
Graphic. Predator.
Yeah.
And Oliveira's picture.
I remember this morning I said that's going to be the pick.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Predator.
Predator.
Charles Oliveira.
Picture.
Jesus Christ.
I have a like. I don't think any of us actually know if he's really like sticking to this. Like, obviously,
No,
it's part
after
of
I
a
saw the
promotion.
Instagram post, it's definitely just a promotional thing.
But it wouldn't be crazy if for one fight he did it as like,
Yes.
yo, you guys pay me a lot of money.
Yes,
and
I think
will,
he got paid a
I
shit
will
ton of
do
money.
it.
He's going to go by
You
Predator
think so?
this
So you
weekend.
think
Yes.
he actually will?
Yeah,
For the one fight.
Yep, I
All
think
right.
he got paid a shit ton of money for
Let's
this.
see if he does.
What the fuck is that?
Thanks, Predator.
The real.
Boys in the back is the guy who proposed the other week, but I don't want to talk about it.
What?
I called in for one reason and one reason only. and
fuck
that's
that. You
because
gotta
I
talk.
wanna
What are you
know-
talking about?
How do you guys hear what he's saying while you talk over him?
I talk over people all the time
Yeah.
in real life conversation.
If any of you watched the incredible Fight of the Year contender between Adrian Luna Martinetti and Mark Bologdon on Dana White's Contender Series, by God, that was a freaking war, man.
Yeah, it was incredible.
That's all. Just talk about
That's
it.
it.
I love you. I'll call back later with the proposal details. Goodbye.
It was fake.
It was fake.
It was fake.
We never heard about it. We never saw any pictures.
2 weeks later, and he's asking about Contender Series. We got duped.
We got duped.
2 weeks? Was it 3 weeks? When did we have Al in studio? Was that 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago?
Through 2.5 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Something like that.
No good. No good. You congratulations, you duped us. Won't happen again.
Yeah, we got duped. Yes, I did watch the fight, rewatched it as well. UFC dropping it on their YouTube channel saying, the greatest fight of all time. That's the title of the YouTube video. It was very entertaining. It was a very good fight. I feel
The greatest
like
fight of all time, I heard.
I feel like Frank right now, a little bit of the hipster take of like, incredible fight. But it's getting gassed up like real hard.
The greatest fight of all time? How could the greatest fight of all time have no stakes?
I don't think it was the greatest fight of all time. I thought it was a very entertaining fight. It was a barn burner. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Is it the best fight of the month?
It
the best fight of the year?
It will definitely be in the discussion for fight of the year. You haven't watched it yet?
No.
Oh, you got to go watch it. It's 16-minute YouTube video. It's great. You should
All right.
go watch it.
I'll
You
take
should go watch it. It's very, very entertaining. It's very entertaining.
Fight of the year?
Scrap. It could be fight of the year, dude.
Hughes Usman won?
Dude, these guys unload the clip a lot
All right.
over the course of the
All
3
right.
rounds.
I'll check it out.
Easily best Contender Series
Okay.
fight of all time.
Okay.
Easily.
I'll lock in.
It's going to be on the short list for fight of the year.
I'll lock in.
Yeah, I thought you had watched it. Yeah, you got to watch it. That and John Pork may have been the best week of.
Shout out to John Pork.
Shout out to John Pork.
Did we mess up not making the thumbnail John Pork?
Yes. John Pork arrives. That should have been the thumbnail.
Damn. My bad.
Hey, boys in the back, it's your boy Sammy from Sweden.
Sammy.
Hope you're well.
What's up, Sammy?
I just want to get your thoughts on Max Holloway. If you think we're going to see him fight in Hawaii, the governor had plans to host an event or the stadium opening in 2029. Maybe Max Holloway has retired by then, but do you think he should be involved in that event? If they have it like as ambassador, or maybe even puts the belt around the champion, get him involved in that. But do you see him fight, and who do you think he should fight next? I mean, his last fight, he lost to Ilia Topuria, but there's no shame in losing to Ilia Topuria. I think. Do you think Max still got what it takes to still got it in him to be a champ again. I certainly do. I just want to get your thoughts. Have a great show, guys. Take care. Bye.
Shout out, Sammy.
Shout out to Sammy. Yeah, I mean, if the UFC goes to Hawaii, he has to be on the card. He has to be the headliner. It's a no-brainer. Absolutely. Where he's at in his career as well. Like, we're asking who's next at 155, and like a lot of the talk is about Gaethje or Patty and everything like that. Honestly, to me, it makes the Gaethje thing seem even more ridiculous just because Max Holloway beat him 16 months ago.
Yeah.
17 months ago. I know he lost to Ilia Topuria, but like, nice win over Dustin Poirier. He is absolutely a contender at 155. A title fight in Hawaii would be unbelievable.
If this Hawaii thing, and I've been very pessimistic about the Hawaii card because you know how like you've been like, if they go to Spain, you're going no matter what.
Yeah.
This is my one declarative that I mean with 100% of my soul. If the UFC does an event in Hawaii, I will be there 100%. There's no doubt in my mind.
I could potentially add that to my list.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm there 100%.
I think right now my list would be top 3 if they announce they're going. Spain, I'm there.
Yeah.
I think a return to Ireland, I would go. Yeah, I would absolutely go.
You'd have to assume it's Connor.
Yeah, and then Hawaii.
If Hawaii happens, I will be there. That's my one. There's one on my list, and if it happens, I'll be there. I've been very pessimistic about it because tourism board has not wanted to pony up. Max Holloway posting on social that Dana's coming out. They're supporting rebuilding of certain areas of Hawaii. Maybe momentum going toward it. I'm starting to get a little more.
Look, man, you don't have to do it multiple times.
I know, it's just, as we heard from Mark Shapiro, and we hear all the time, you have to pay.
Oh, I know.
An insane amount of money.
You pay up
to get it.
Pay up once.
In Hawaii, like when Bellator would go, the ticket prices are just so low. It's not an area where you can guarantee. You have Max Holloway, as you said, he's still as good as ever, right? Like he's still a guy that you can.
You have to have Max Holloway to be able to.
If you do this in the next 5 years, I don't care if Max Holloway's been retired for 2 at that point. You must have Max Holloway as the headline. Like the BJ Penn era is way over. Like that ain't happening.
You're not making a comeback for this one.
Shout out. I mean, God bless BJ Penn and his family.
God bless
like, whatever's going on there. Max Holloway has to be the headliner. Like there's no alternative. You're not going to sell out. Like the thing that's been discussed is Aloha Stadium. That's a college football stadium. That is like you're not talking a small amount of seats, and you're not talking a small amount of money. That's why it's always been difficult to kind of get the economics of this working correctly. Also, an island, right? You're not getting as much quick fly traffic as you would, or people driving in from other states. It's a very difficult thing to make the economics of it work. You cannot sell that without Max Holloway. And so Max Holloway has to be headlining. Even if this is happening years down the line, you bring Max Holloway back because that's what's going to get it done. I would love it. I would freaking love it, man.
I will add in one more. Just a nice wild card of one that I would be at. Outside the States, insanely random new spot.
Like what?
Like if they went to like, maybe they've been there before. Like if they went to like Oslo or something. It's just like, all right, yeah, I'll go.
Yeah.
Like somewhere like really, real random. If they went to Italy for the first time, like there's no like rumors of that, but I would go.
Yeah, they've never been to Italy.
Georgian card I'd be there for. The more random, the better.
Yeah.
Japan, oh, that's definitely.
They've been there.
I will buy it. I know they've been. Return, I'm there. That's actually the top 3, updated. Spain, Hawaii, Japan.
Yeah, Hawaii is my golden goose.
Be sick.
I don't think that's the right term. All right.
That was all of the voicemail.
Any super chats, brother? Thanks to everyone who called in. We appreciate it more than you guys know.
Well, I hope you appreciate this super chat. Crazy to see how comfortable you two have gotten in front of the camera. Watched your first episode the other day, and New York Rick's comfort leveled up.
Hey, shout out. That's what they call him, Comfort Rick.
Comfy.
Khalil versus Magomed, and then do Yuri versus Carlos. Both off wins for vacant light heavyweight.
Yeah. I think we literally said that same thing.
Makes
I'm
a lot of
super
sense.
down for that. I'm super down for that.
Yeah.
I owe 1 minute scraps. Boys in the Pack mailman collab.
Oh,
it's
now we're talking.
It's right there.
Now we're talking.
Make it happen.
Oh,
At the
shit.
same time, Uncrowned Doc of 1 minute scrap doc. It's a win-win. Ideas on the house, no charge, just a shout out.
Now
Elver Galarga, you're a fucking genius.
This is starting to...
Uncrowned X, Dan Hooker, 1 minute scraps, but
All
it can
mailmen.
only be mailmen.
Oh yeah. Would Dan be? I think Dan would be open to it.
I think if we
had a good-
approached him properly,
we had a roster ready to go and just said, Dan, we want your branding on this. We want the 1 minute scraps stamp of approval on these mailmen.
the doctor as well. I mean, he did convicts. Why couldn't he do postal men?
I know, but the problem is we're gonna have to the expense to get these mailmen in to New Zealand is gonna be a lot. Like we're gonna have to
We can
figure
mail
it
them.
out.
Well,
We mail the mailmen?
well, we could start with just the New Zealand Postal Service.
Is there enough mailmen that want to throw down? Maybe in New Zealand, actually.
NZ Post. Shout out.
All right, maybe we
that.
start building local. Let's see if there's enough mailmen in New Zealand.
Wow, NZ Post is kind of cool looking. Orange and blue trucks.
Now I gotta look.
Fucking hell! Shout out to New
Group of
Zealand.
hobbits to carry them over.
Yo, shout out. That's a genius idea, especially in the uncrowned docks era. Wow.
I love
the
it.
wheels are turning back here.
Mailmen, 1 minute.
24-inch stubs. All the Boroughs are cheeks. Go Dodgers.
Shut the.
All the Boroughs are cheeks. Go Dodgers.
He's rooting
against the Phillies.
Yeah, I don't get that because the Yanks are already out.
I saw he put in the chat that he's just a Mookie Betts fan, so he's still going.
Mookie Betts, your organization treated him wrong. They threw him out like dirty trash.
You're a
best
Red
players in
Sox
baseball.
fan.
Yeah. Shout out Mookie Blaylock.
Hi, boys. Shout out from Costa Rica. 4-year listener.
Shit.
First
Wow.
chat. If
Shit.
you could pick a top 15 and get $100 per second survived, who would it be? See you at the top.
God.
Oh, it's a great question.
Definitely
Thank you for the
flyweight.
chat. Shout out to Costa Rica.
But do we have to go at our actual weight?
I am going with. I will go with. This is tough. I'll go with Tisha Pennington.
Oh, come on. I'm going
number
with
13th ranked strawweight.
Oh man.
And the game plan would be push kicks. And a lot of
Sorry,
just
bring it
moving.
back up. I have to go all 15. Was that the stipulation?
Just top 15.
Top 15.
Oh, every second survived, I get $100.
Yeah.
Man, I'm not going to survive very long because I'm going to get tapped out so quick.
No, that's why you just stick and move.
I'm also going flyweight, but also I'm obviously going gender aligned.
He never specified. Yeah, I'm going Tisha Pennington.
God, there's
That's
really
the final
no great
answer.
answer here.
That's the final answer.
Tagir? Do I go Tagir and just
Tagir will
hope?
tap you quick, yeah.
But
I'm going to be running a lot. You never said we had to do
He's
anything.
going to tap me.
I'll be a lot of
Do I
stuff.
do I go for a guy like Manel Kopp and I just run and I'm just sprinting around the cage and he's trying to knock me out and I'm just like, you're not going to get me.
Yeah, no, I think he would eventually land. Head
There's
kick
no
while
good
you're
answers
running.
here.
Tisha Pennington is the
Top
right answer.
15 UFC is just.
You just keep shoving. Just get shove.
Is there
That's the
okay?
best
What
thing.
about this answer?
Until she finally gets me and taps me out.
What about Tim Elliott? And I'm just doing such crazy shit that his crazy shit is almost like canceled out, and he's like confused at why I'm doing the crazier shit.
Yeah,
yeah, it's not.
None of them are good.
It's not
None of them are good
None of them are
options.
good. Tisha would knock your ass out.
I mean, yeah, eventually, but because of the height and reach advantage and the weight advantage, I could survive a little bit longer.
And then lastly, someone was asking about the Contender Series fight. If you got to take a look.
The same one?
Yeah.
Did you guys see Martinetti? Yes. Yeah, it was. I mean, it was incredible, man.
Okay. This is
really fighting Van. Eventually, might be best fight ever. All right, so here is my also take on this. The fights that I'm now looking forward to most are the next ones.
Their next fights. Yeah.
Yes. If both of them come out and put on individual bangers, we've got like some real diehard scrappers.
I love it. Contender Series, look, I think they give out way too many contracts. I think the rest of the UFC cards, the Fight Night cards, have become basically Contender Series plus, right? They like the bottom half of every single card is basically a Contender Series card. But man, the athletes are hungry and deliver on those shows. They really. It's the least fatty product that the UFC has. It really is just like scrap, 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 and then they just get out. So it's a good product, but the result of that is we basically just get like the bottom half, the prelims of every single fight card are just Contender Series fighters. So it's Contender Series Plus. But I am mad. Too many contracts given out, but at the same time, like maybe these guys can be,
if you're putting on wars like that, then yeah. Sign them.
Yeah.
Sign them for sure.
That was it?
That was all of them.
I'm seeing one more right here. Payday Gang from Joshua Freeman. BX, stand up. Any new predictions for over-unders for new champions by the end of the year? Trying to throw a future. And I can't remember what we said at the beginning of the year.
Well, there's not. How many title fights are left? There's Tom and Cyril. Wait, is that is the next pay-per-view, right?
Yeah.
Tom and Cyril. That's a no for me.
Virna and McKenzie.
I guess that counts, right? New champions, you would have because it's a vacant title. I guess that counts. So we'll call that one. I don't know how the betting line would consider that. So that's one. And then November we've got Islam JDM. So I say yes on that one. I say Islam wins that. So that's 2 new champions. And then the co-main is Zhang and Valentina.
Yep.
I'm going Zhang on that. So I'd actually have 3 new champions now. And then December might be Marab? Who's December?
Maybe Marab, maybe Pantoja. We have to wait and see.
If it's Marab, it's no. If it's Pantoja, it's no. So I feel, and it's not going to be Ilya. I feel good with I'm saying 3 are going to happen.
Yeah.
Zhang and Valentina is the one I'm least confident in. I'm very confident in Islam, and I'm very confident in Virna or McKenzie capturing a vacant belt. So it's not really super risky, but I think 2 to 3 is solid, depending on what.
A lot of new champions this year, man. I saw a graphic of the champs in March compared to now, and I was like, man.
Yeah.
It's been most of my favorite fighters becoming champions. JDM getting the belt, Ilya with the belt at 155. Hamzat's got the belt now. Pereira's got the belt.
But those are some of the crazier ones because it's like Alex was the champion, but now becomes the champion again.
Crazy year in terms of championship changes.
Bilal, JDM loses it to Bilal. Now Islam has an opportunity to take that one, so that one might change hands twice. It is a turbulent year for that.
Shout out
Ilya, new champion at 55.
Yeah, dude, it's been a wild year in championships. All right, that's all the super chats, Frankie.
Yes, sir.
All right, that'll do it for us. Someone in the chat saying Raven's watching. Yeah, there he is. The King of Queens. Love that show.
God, the AI is
love that show.
Terrific. Why did they have to AI Leah Remini too? Like she doesn't look like that. They could have just AI'd me.
I think that actually is Virna Genjiroba as Leah Remini. Shout out, man.
I am the King of Queens. No, you know what? Action Bronson's
the King of Queens, and then Kevin James is the King of Queens, and then Rick is the King of Queens.
I'll take it. Third in line's not bad.
What is it? My eyes are getting weary. My back is getting tight. I'm sitting there in traffic on the Queensboro Bridge tonight. All I want to do is cash my check and drive right home to you. Yeah, shout out to the King of Queens.
Never seen it.
Used to watch it every day when I got home from school. Thanks for watching. Crack tomorrow. We'll be back next week. UFC Rio, enjoy it. UFC Vancouver. I gotta piss. I'm out.